Give it a few minutes. And if Amanda's there, I'm saying hi. Ooh, I've just pulled some cards. Very interesting for myself. Very interesting. I may share. I don't have to share everything on my channel of the ins and outs of my life, even though there's people out there that think I have to because I'm on here for some reason. They think they know the ins and outs of my life when they don't, because they don't know me. If you dare say hi, because I can see people. Hi, Cat Dan. Here for a few minutes. Oh, thank you. Well, I'll see when everyone comes in, because I did say get a pen and paper, because we're going to be doing a bit of work on this, which I'll be showing in a bit. So, hi Josephine. Hi Kirsten. So yeah, I'll just wait for a few more people to come in or come and comment. 17, there might be some lurkers, I never know. Hi, it's CJ333. I'm going to have to get into the swing of things and see if I choose to speak on something or not. I guess I'll have to see what I feel. I've wrote a few notes down, even though they probably actually make no sense now, or I don't need to reading them. And a video that I'm going to show is very relevant and what I've been thinking about over the weekend, because I've not been, hi Von Craig, hi Carla, I've not been feeding into the media. I've not really been watching, because like I said, I know what's going on there. I've not been feeding into other people even though I did make a comment on my community post for a certain somebody who is still spouting the victim mode of, well, you'll know if you've been over there, just victim mode mentality of blaming others for what they're bringing to themselves because they're not doing the shadow work. Shadow work, hi Roxanne, shadow work isn't just about, I did it a few years ago. It's, you have to do it all the time. It's an ongoing thing. The more high we go up, the more we'll always be doing. That's what I believe anyway. Hi Andrea, hi Hayley, hi Tracy. So what I want to bring in, because, you know, with a lot of division going on in the world right now, especially in the 3D, which is, you know, the world they project on us. I see a lot of projection off other people as well. Thank you, Roxanne. And I will show that clip after. And just let me write it down. I will, Roxanne. You know I won't give up. I've had all this projection projected on me before from other people. And these people can keep projecting. They know who they are because they're probably watching me right now. But the thing is, it's not, to me, it's not about that. I could really go off on one and, you know, say what this person is doing again. Hi, Mary, and thank you. Yeah, I'll be showing Mark tonight because he said something as well, because, you know, we link up with all that sort of stuff, the people that I'm into. And the shows that I've been on, you know, and this person out there doesn't like the fact that I've been on some bigger shows, you know, than what they would think was bigger. Hi, Dave. So it's just like, yeah, because I've done the work of, I was getting in contact with them people, and we're all into the same sort of things, especially this over there. It doesn't matter if you are or you're not really, but, you know, and I will always shine my light. But what I was coming to this weekend, which a lot of us know, and I've been talking about for months and months and months and months and months. Susie Q, Dolly, you have a good heart, soul, and negativity. No, it doesn't get me down. You're allowed to talk about things, you know, that's what you get off your chest. But I was going to talk about it, but then thought, no, I'm not even going to bring this person's name up. They know who they are, and they can keep projecting all they want. Because at the end of the day, I have always said, no matter what, you know, where you are at your path, and what you're going through and what you're coming through, to realise is that the biggest thing I've always said is the healing. The healing and the positivity is very important. And people go on about unconditional love. Well, I even see that word sometimes as a bit of a unconditional, because yeah, we know there's different levels we're supposed to be going up in consciousness and this, that, and the other. But one of the ones we're dealing with right at the minute, oh yeah, is the 3D as well. We are at war, whether people know that or not. It is a war on the minds and consciousness and all that. And like I've said before, we are bridging the non-physical and the physical worlds together. So it's all a bit of a mismatch, you know. I said you can't be too up there and not down here, or too down here and not up there, you know, in the physical and non-physical. It's all about balance. And that's what I try and do in my life. And my fella, we can have disagreements on certain things going on right now, which is frustrating, but it's okay because he sees the good in me and I see the good in him. And that's a total difference with having a little, what did I write down? Yeah, having, not agreeing on something, you know, on something is what it is, because people do disagree on certain things. It's just perceptions anyway, and that's what me and my fellow were saying this weekend on what we were talking about to each other. But trying to suppress somebody's awakening is not, it's not the right way to go. Keep on doing what you're doing, Dolly. Yeah, I'll be on Roxanne's show this week on Wednesday. I think the two girls together again. It was brilliant. Check out Really Woke Roxanne there. And that's what it is. You can have different perceptions and you can disagree. You can agree to disagree. But when you're trying to suppress somebody's spiritual awakening because it's not how you did it, or they've not been on it long enough, these people, and I'll say these people because it's not just one, I've had this before. I have been light working quite a long time. I just didn't know it. When I look back now, future proves the past, I'm like, oh, but because these people think they know me, though they've never met me in real life, they think they know everything because I don't actually tell everybody everything on here. When I was at school, junior school and secondary school, I got in contact with a friend, and this will go into the whole conversation of what we're going to do with when I ask you to get a pen and paper. There was a girl that I used to hang around with, and she was lovely. And a few of her friends now lost contact. Hi, Patricia. Anyone in any mods, just let everyone know. If I'm not saying hi, it's not because I'm ignoring. I'm just in the flow and I'll get distracted of what I'm trying to say. So, and I think most of you will agree, like, certain things, but I got in contact with this friend, and it's one of them things, a friend that you've not seen for years, but when you get in contact, it's like you've never not been friends. And when I saw her, I think it was, I can't remember if it was this year, beginning of this year or last year. I mean, that's even the thing with me and Roxanne. We'd never met in real life. And when we did through YouTube, we actually met in real life. We just get on so well, like we're sisters or something that we've met before. And the whole journey we've had with the Q thing, that's getting bigger and bigger now, which I'll talk about at some point because I'll just get in the flow with this. I'm warming up. So when I met this friend, we used to say we wished we were sisters when we were younger. Anyway, we'd not been in contact for years, and we got in contact on Facebook about something. I didn't even know. When she came talking, she was talking about the light ships, the frequency, and I was like, no way, like, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, yeah, but you were always doing it. And I went, doing what? And she went, you always had that thing, like at school, you were always being nice, and you were always saying kind things to people, blah, blah, blah. And I look back and I think, yeah, I was actually. Yeah, I do have a stubbornness in me and this and that. Oh, yeah, I was actually. Yeah, I remember. And people that, even men had said, oh, God, yeah, I remember you at school. You were so nice, or you were so smiley, or you were so this, that, and the other. And you were doing it then. So, you know, to all the naysayers, I couldn't really care. And you don't know me, you've never met me. So you can go on with all the so-called smear campaign that you're telling everyone that, hi, is it in search of, is it Fruital? I think that's who I think it is. Just everybody hi. There's no smear campaign against you. You're doing this smear campaign yourself. You know who you are, because you're not letting it go. I've never seen such an obsessed person in my life with me. Someone being obsessed with me and what I do, and the things that this person, hi Effie, tries to say about me on their channel. I don't really need to say who it is. People know. No, I don't really want to give you the time of day that much because I actually put it in the community post. But this all interlinks with what I'm about to say in a bit. And it's funny how it's come up again. And this person just cannot let go because it's about letting go. So I don't need anyone saying, oh, you're wasting your energy, because it's not. It's something that needs to be said. Not that I'm going to say it the way I was going to say it. I just thought, no, it's not really needed. But It's just that thing out there is I don't tell everyone everything on here. And this person goes on in some other comments about, you know, people think that they're doing the work and they think that it only takes a couple of years to do it. Some people can wake up and get through it in a couple of years. Some people can't because they get stuck on stuff. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing it. So that's what those people have got to realise as well. Stop trying to suppress people's journeys and trying to suppress what people want to get out and what people want to say. Hi, Carla, because my fella, everything's about your experience. So if you're not experiencing something I'm experiencing, it doesn't mean it's not true. So people shouldn't be going around going, well, it's not true because I didn't see it. Or I hate Q because I can't see it. Well, maybe because you're looking at a different perception that I'm looking at, but whatever. But it's like me and my fella said this weekend. We had a bit of a, we're talking about something like, but then we always say sorry to each other because we always reflect. And it was a bit like, well, it's just perceptions. And at the end of the day, you know, I know you're a good person, you've got a good intent, and so have you. It's just a little bit that we're a bit like, okay. But, you know, it's just that thing of like, just because you're not seeing something doesn't mean it's not true. Like, for instance, I show my orb. Some people will say, because most people do, it's dust. Well, to you it might be, because I don't know when dust actually communicated to people. We know about atoms and light particles and all that, and beings of light, and non-physical and physical. The beings of, they're not physical, they're not in physical form, but they communicate. So that means there's some sort of intelligence. So some people will say AI. Some people are all up in the New World Order. Good for them. I know I'm communicating with something, and it's my energy as well, and it's very bright white light, and the golden pink I've been getting in and stuff like that. But I don't need to really go on about it so much. Yeah, I know about the beams of light, and CJ333 does know about the beams of light. Yeah, dust doesn't flash. I know, and that's the thing that makes me laugh. Dust doesn't flash. And I even said to my fellow, he's like, yeah, well, I saw that. I said, yeah, you saw it when I was there. And people will still naysay, but naysayers will naysay because sometimes frequencies don't come in sometimes to people who are in fear, or, you know, they don't want to go into a frequency of people that are lower, because the only thing you're going to attract there is lower vibing frequencies. I thought I saw a little orb in my room last night. You probably did, because what I believe is going on is there is a lot of light coming in, energy frequencies that are building helping our DNA structures, you know, what most people talk about. That's how I believe the light and the energy of people going about, oh, the great solar flash and this. I believe this is how it's been coming in over time and getting you online with yourself and this, that and the other. More and more people are waking up. I have a picture with a big white orb behind me, right, at the time when I was starting. Yeah, it's a fancy battle. Well, eyes are useless if the mind is blind. Exactly. I'm starting to catch orbs. You will do. You will see them in the day. And you'll see more and more because of what's coming in. You know, people are going about the 21st of December. I believe that's a massive thing with energy, not what other people thought it was last year and the year before. It's just things coming in more and more. And what I believe now is, yeah, exactly. Dust does not travel a direct path either. Exactly. But people will still naysay. But that's for them. My path's my path of what I'm doing, and what I try to just show people is just my path. That, no, you haven't missed much yet. I've not got in the swing of things. My path that I'm showing people, and if you resonate, you resonate. Other people resonate with other channels. Good. But I don't know why you're going after me all the time when it's nothing to do with me. Your victimhood is nothing to do with me. It's to do with yourself. The darkness lies within us, and the darkness is you. If you choose to be dark, then be dark. That is up to you. So what I would say, broomstick, yeah. So 2 golden, yeah, there's been a lot of golden orbs. I've had gold and pink, and it's like a healing energy. That's why I did the pinky gold earrings. We are grateful. Yeah, thank you. A lot of people won't believe others' experiences if they haven't seen. Yeah, and that's the thing. If they haven't experienced something, then they'll naysay. So I understand all that. So I'm going to leave that where it is, because that's for that person to work through their own shit. Because basically, what I've been saying for ages, and a lot of people out there are saying, even then people are saying, it's to do with healing, and it's a frequency. And what I'm trying to bring on my channel is the healing. And also, this weekend I was just thinking, it's all about the imprint. And if you think about the word imprint, I'm print. What imprint do you want to put on this world before you depart to another form of energy? Do you want to be known as someone who just moaned about someone else all the time? Was a bit of a bag, I don't know. Is that what you want to bring in? Do you just want to suppress other people's journeys and go on about boring stuff and drama instead of doing your dharma? And your dharma is your energy, the things that you focus on. Is that what you want to do? Because that's what I put in my post to this person on the community page, because that's where I've put my response to that person yet again. Are you doing your dharma, or are you just trying to create drama? Because that's what it looks like to me, because that's what drama is. Trying to look at stuff and say somebody's this, that and the other when they won't look at the responsibility of what they're doing and how they feel. Yeah, they do. Yeah. And I've just seen it again today. Not that, I don't go over there, but I just caught it on a community page and thought, oh my God, this person for the past few days has just my name all the time, my name all the time. So this is why I think it's very important for us, and me too. We're not looking at that. We're looking at solutions. People are looking at solutions. This is the way. We have a new earth and a new way. So what do you want to, what imprint do you want to leave here when you move on to another form of energy? I did make some notes, but probably. So what I was going to bring today was, you've got a pen and paper. Let me know in chat if you've got your pen and paper. Because what we were going to do is, we were going to look at shadow self, shadow work, book of shadows, book of mirrors. Yeah, that's a bit witchy. And this person thinks that I'm doing dark energy on them. Don't think so. That means you've been watching my videos because I said I was a bit witchy. You don't put dark energy on other people. You are the dark energy. You get karma back by putting shit out to people. So I don't think so. Yeah, well, so we could call it book of shadows, book of mirrors. I'd like to call it Book of Self-Evolution, Book of Self-Evolve, right? Because it is, our journey is the evolution of you. Me, you. It's how you grow and expand through your experiences in your life, your experiences, nobody else's, because nobody else's experiences are yours. Yes, they match up with things, but it's your experiences that will... Yeah, you've got your pen and paper, yes. Oh, God, I'm glad some of you have got them then. Well, I'm a bit thinking about unconditional love, Dave, because it's uncon. It's got a con in it. Because some people say they're all unconditional, and they're actually not, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I want to use different words. But anyway, and if anyone noticed, if you're into Mark Atwood, I did get this the other day. Oh my God, it's so heavy. Just for those who know. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so you all got pen and paper. Yeah, so it's my journey that I share on here, however, whatever that is. It's your journey. And it's how you expand through your experiences alone. Yes, we match up with certain things like, oh yeah, I had an experience similar. That's why we all go in like the vibe tribe and all that. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. But it's your experience. And you learn from the certain experiences, or maybe you don't, depending on if you're repeating old patterns. So I've said before, we've got to look at the patterns and try to break the patterns to, as we know, deprogram ourselves from the old programming to bring in our new programming. 45 in the house. Woohoo! So, before I get going, I'm just going to show you the cards that come out that I did before I came on here. Because, funny enough, I got the Magic Guardian again that I got the other day. This card reading was for me, and that was Unlock the Magic Within. I do, and people don't like it when you're shining your light. And then it was the Oracle, Wait for the Important Information. Well, that made me laugh because there's a lot of information going around now in the 3D, and people getting confused and frustrated. We're just breathing in the good ass prana and waiting for the information of the Kraken is going to be released. Who is the Kraken? I'll tell you who the Kraken might be, if you know what I'm talking about. The Kraken. Release the Kraken. Do you want me to show you who we believe the Kraken may be? You've got to have a laugh with this 3D stuff. Anyone guessing? 3D. Could be to do with this. Anyone guessing who the Kraken could be? My dad sent me this. I was laughing my head off, but he is the Kraken. He could be the Kraken. Who's going to release? Who knows? Quite a lot. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Well, are you ready? Dun dun dun. Do you want a drum roll? Dun. Release the Kraken. General Flynn. Down, down. Down, down. Then release the Kraken. Thought we'd have a laugh with that. Release the Kraken. Yeah, you got your pens and paper ready. Release the Kraken.
Hey folks, human rights attorney Lee Dennis here.
Oh, human rights. Right. General Flynn. So yeah, I just thought I'd chuck that in there before I started warming up. Ta-da! Oh yes, General Flynn knows quite a lot. So this one, wait for the important information. 17 thumbs up. Oh yeah, we know it's coming. Someone reported today, I think they said it was the husband though, 17 and 45, we've got President Trump in the house on 45 and 17 thumbs up. There you go, validation, right in the numbers. That's hilarious. Well, there is important information coming, and somebody said, oh, my husband said, you know, Joe Biden's still got in, he's won the electoral college votes. I went, no, he hasn't. That's just mainstream media. At the end of the day, they're not even in till the 14th of December, people. So, we're waiting. Wait for the important information. Oh, yes. That's all I'm saying. We've got the broken arrow again. Embrace the energy of peace. Well, something's going to come up in chat in a bit of a video that I'm going to show. Someone's video talking about Israel. For the people out there who are still not getting it, because peace will be made in the Middle East. When that happens, peace on earth. Well, that is happening, has happened. But I'll show that video in a minute when I get going. Some people still obsessed over Trump taxes. They're obsessed over really stupid stuff at the minute. Never in the now, always back then. Then the last one was shaman. Shaman. And it's funny that it's got an owl on its head, because I'll show you the picture in a minute. Trust in the higher forces. Well, I do. It's not just because I believe, you know, I trust in Q, because that side always go, oh, you just trust in Q, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself, do you? Yeah, I do. And I know that Q and Trump are a good frequency. And I respect Trump. And as I keep saying and saying again, because people don't listen out there, nobody said he's a saviour. Nobody said he's the, well, they say he's the Antichrist, the Messiah. No, he's a guy that I highly respect, because I've done my homework and know what he's a part of. And I know what this is a part of as well. So if you're not into that and it doesn't resonate and it's not what you see, oh well, this channel isn't for you. So that's why I say to the naysayers of that side, you know who you are. Keep doing what you're doing in your content of what you're doing. This is for people that resonate in Haizal with what I come out with. Not everything. And most people in my chat, most, are into the 45th president and Q. Not all, but they know that, or if they're not, they know that where I'm coming from, the intent is way behind that, and it's a way higher, because it is. I've said and said before, this is why I can tell these people don't listen to what I'm saying. I know it's beyond that. It's godly. It's godly. It's a divine plan. It's not law under man. It's under God. So God wins, as Q has always said. And yeah, we win as well, because we are from God. So there's a picture I want to show you before I start waffling on with myself. Trump back in 4 more years. Yeah, and we all know this is happening. So I can't wait to see the people's faces of the naysayers, even though they'll say it's not important, when actually it's very important, because it's more to do with a higher force than most people know. But hey ho, that's up to them. I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in bringing out my frequency to people, and you go and do your own work. I've always said, do your homework, and that's that. I'm in the US and been following Q for 3 years, and Junior too. Oh, I've got a lot to say about Junior at some point. I did do loads of videos on Junior a couple of years ago on Vincent Fusca, and saying that I have seen him at the rallies and he is there. Most know that who are looking, and a lot more people are getting on Q now, as I can see And as I had a conversation with someone today about how many people are coming over to Cube, because they're realising when they actually do the homework with critical thinking and they question everything, you can see, as Mark Atwood, I think it was, said today, people ask about where's all the info or the facts and all the, or what's it called, all the stuff going on. It's everywhere. It's everywhere if you're actually looking in the right places. So let me just get this a minute. Now, it's very frustrating for some people, and I said to my fella this weekend, do you remember that game, Frustration? Frustration. Well, I love that game, Frustration. Do you remember this noise? Do you remember this noise? This will take you back. Right, well, I was saying, I always play the yellow colour, and normally, for some reason, I always win the game of Frustration when I'm yellow, because something to do with my granddad used to use the yellow colour, so I always use this colour, and I always won the game of Frustration. And the game of Frustration is very frustrating. It's a bit like what's going on now, but guess what? Yellow, I don't know, the light, sunshine, the golden age is winning and will win. Don't know why I've just said that, but I found this in the loft because I was like, yeah, do you remember that game? Went in the loft, I was like, no way have I got this game in the loft and didn't even know it was there. So, yeah, I'm laughing. I'm going to have a right good game of that because it's not got any pieces missing either. So, I don't know why I just brought that out. Also, get your pens and paper ready. I'm going to be showing you in a minute. I've just said about the card there with the owl on. There's some sort of weird picture that I'm drawing and it's still not finished yet. One of these little paintings. I don't know how it's going to come out. I wrote underneath it, because this is some work we're going to be doing as well, compassion, unity over here on the owl's face. And it kept coming through even though I've got to build the paint up. So I sort of wanted that underneath that wouldn't really be seen, but the words and the intent are under the picture. Magic, you see. So I don't know how that's going to come out yet, because this is in the darkness, and then I'm going to have a lot of white on here. This is, I mean, to me, when I drew this, you know, when things just come in, it's not finished yet, they just come in, and they end up very different at the end. Isn't that just life? Than I thought it would, but what I can see at the minute is a woman, say, me or you. The bird, the owl, stands for wisdom. The eyes, to me, stand for consciousness. That's why I put eyes in things. The woman here, who just came in with eyes in her hair, because I don't know what happened in there, the consciousness as well, she's just sort of popping out. It's like the higher state of consciousness, your higher self, you know. I don't know how this is going to actually come out, but like I said, I put my intentions on things. I'm going to be doing smaller size paintings, like this size. Don't exactly know what this size is, because they're easier to post if anyone's ever interested, when I show you stuff, and then put them up on my Instagram. But yeah, that'll be finished when it's finished. So just thought I'd show you some artwork that I'll stick over there at the minute. And it's always an angel-y picture, because that represents to me ascension of our, you know, raising our vibrations higher. So hi Sue, hi Lois James, Alyssa, who else has come in? Anyone that's come in, I just need to get on with my thing. So I got myself a book, and I'll show you this probably every week. Just a little yellow notepad. It doesn't matter what it is, lined, unlined, or whatever. So as I was saying, oh, and I did this picture, I think it was last night or this morning, this came in, with a ballpoint pen. triangles down, feminine, feminine, divine feminine. So that came in, but I was writing some dreams out and stuff. But like I said at the beginning, it's the imprint you want to leave, you know, here on earth when you go to a different form of energy. I had a huge owl come and land on my high branch in my garden a few months ago. He stayed for 2 days. Oh, that's nice. So hi everybody. So I asked you to get a pen and paper because, just let me see if I read anything on it. I don't know if I've got a... I don't know if to I think I'll show you some videos first before I get you to write something down. Or... yeah, I'm just saying... yeah, I think, because it'll make more sense. But just let me see if there's anything else. So, yeah. So it's the imprint you want to leave. And what we're learning about now is the healing that we've all still got to do. No one can say they're totally there because it's just breaking down all those barriers. Once you think you've done your shadow work, you might need to keep doing it again. Now, I'm going somewhere on Wednesday with a friend, so I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to an actual Reiki healer. See if there's anything that needs to be removed, and I want to speak to this person as well. They've been having a lot of hate for the work they do, but they've also said that when they do the work, sometimes they have to still release other energy because they take on other people's energy, and also it's never not done. You always have to be releasing, you know, because things pop up all the time, especially in this time now with everything that's going on. So I'm going to play a few videos, then we're going to get a pen and paper out because I'm going to show you this so I can show you, explain what it is, show you the words on it anyway. But we're going to be drawing an upward spiral, and we're going to be drawing these 2 hands, which I'll explain in a bit. But we're going to be putting it in a notebook because each week I'm going to be coming on doing something. This is my own idea to try and like put something out there that might help you over the next couple of months of how we can focus on ourselves and our higher power, and instead of, you know, getting involved with other stuff. So all you will need is a notebook of any kind. Doesn't matter how big or how small. Mind you, if you want to do the hands, it'd be good if it fit your hand size on it. But if you've got a little notebook, you could always get a bigger piece of paper because you need to draw around both of your hands and fold that up and stick it into your little, if you've got like a smaller pad. Or you could jot this down and then just get yourself a bigger, cheaper pad. This is just one of them notebook things from a cheap shop that was about 50p or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And you can decorate it. I'm going to decorate mine on the front and call it my, what did I say we're going to call it? Book of Self-Evolution, because that's what it is. It's you, as I said before, and learning how to grow and expand and release, hide on it, everything that is not aligned with you right now, because the planets are coming into alignment, energies are coming into alignment, you are coming into alignment. Oh, that's what it is, a workshop. That's definitely what it is, a workshop. That's what I want to do, you know, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put things out each week, and I'd like feedback of, you know, if you're enjoying it, you're enjoying it. If you're not, you know, that's fine. You know, there's such thing as learning from critical, comments and stuff. But mainly if you're joining in, you know, you can see if it helps, and we'll do something each week, and I'll give you maybe a bit of homework to do, and then maybe in the future, because I do want to get into working on my computer, a bit more editing and stuff, I can do other things. So I'm going to show you a few videos, and then we're going to jot down what I've done on there and what, and this is not me telling someone what to do for the naysayers out. This is just me of what I'm doing, that I'm going to be doing this too, you know, because like I said, I have many books that I have all around my house that I write dreams in, I write things down, I draw, I doodle, I write little things down, things I've got to keep track of, even something that's gone on in the day, talking to myself and putting that out, then does it really matter or not? This is what we're doing. So it's going to help you. The thing on the board is going to help you look at something when something comes in, when you're triggered or feeling down, how to change it, because you do manifest a reality in. And as I keep saying to people, like that person who keeps going on, what you focus on, you bring in. You can't blame anyone for dark energy. You are the dark energy if that's what energy you decide to reside in, and that's a fact. So, you know, you bring in what you are. So, with no further ado, let's get me And then I wouldn't have to do this anymore of holding a phone up and showing you what's going on. So we're going to listen to, I tell you what, Matthew McConaughey, or whatever his name is, because I always get it wrong, had a really good chat on something the other day, and I'm sure he's a Trump supporter. But anyway, he was talking about certain stuff, and I will shout the channel out because Matthew, I can never say his name, that celebrity, did a massive chat on, it is that thing of evolving and realising what you don't need. Realising what you don't need. It was great. So I'll try and find that after. Someone remind me after. I can't even remember what channel it was on. But let's find. And there's a great chat. I want to play you something because all these channels that I'm going to show you now, they're not too long, will link up with the thing on the board of what I knew was coming in up to December of what we're trying to do with each other. Like I said, I'm not interested in other people that don't like me and don't like my channel. It's not about them. It's about the people who are interested, in doing stuff. So I'm going to show you. See, I was thinking about this all weekend, and then obviously the people that I'm connected to and have had shows with and that are all talking about the same thing. So I've not been watching that much, but we'll listen to Raise Your Consciousness by Mark Atwood first. It's not too long.
Hi guys, it's Mark Atwood here, Adventures in a Meat Suit. What day is it? Monday today, on the 16th of November. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to talk you through some really interesting things that I've noticed. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you to everybody, especially the people that have watched the interview I did with the comedian Alan Park in Canada, and everybody that sent him healing love yesterday on Sunday. I really, really appreciate that.
Well, that's the thing, some people will say, oh, he's a celebrity, he's Hollywood, he's probably from the evil side. They're not all, and even those people are learning as well. So it's not always, you've got to listen to what people are saying sometimes, but he really good and what's going on now.
I've not had a chance to catch up with Alan yet, but I know that he was very appreciative of the whole gesture, and it's fantastic. This is what a community is for, right? I know lots of you are healers and distance healers, and if we understand, as most of us do, about how the quantum realm works, distance is no object. So thank you very much for all the feedback on the interview that I did with Alan. It was extremely touching and humbling. So thank you all for that. That's for everybody that's on my email list. If you are new to this channel and you're not on my email list, then if anything happens to this channel, then you're not going to be able to keep in touch with what I'm doing. I also send a lot.
I'd say, Danny, I don't even bother. I'm not in fear of nothing. I just use whatever.
Things out on email that are not necessarily related to what this channel is putting out. And, I send people interesting links and things like that. So there's a link in the description below this video. Just go and sign up there.
Effie's just put Mark Atwood's YouTube channel in live chat before he starts warming up on it.
But I do send you important, interesting stuff that kind of helps complete the story, really, because I've always got time to make videos like this. I'm making this one
and
today.
Susie Q, you'll get a lot of people going, oh, well, we already knew this. Where? There's that suppression thing again of not letting people speak the truth. When people will say, oh, yeah, well,
I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, but I'm just guided to do it because everything I do is based upon intuition and guidance, and has been for quite a while, which reminds me of... I remember about...
Because I would like to say the person who keeps having a go at me is just reporting in their little community pages that they are highly intuitive. And it's a bit like, what, so nobody else is? Because we all are when you start tuning in. Be careful what you're tuning into, though.
5 years ago, I was posting up stuff about the royal family on Facebook, and a guy that I've done some business with was getting quite argy-bargy with me. And he said... How do you know that the royal family are lizards? I was like, and I said that, and I also had there's a woman that
cold-blooded
10 years ago who occasionally posts a little barbed comment on Facebook, and she said in the summer, oh right, so we've got to grow organic vegetables and stand barefoot in the grass. Is that it? Is that how we combats this attack on our privacy and on our rights with the pandemic? And I had to kind of answer yes, because if you go back to the first poem that I put up on this channel, If 2020, my reworking of Rudyard Kipling's classic, which is just there behind me, there at the top of the pen. In there, I said it's a time of intuition. And that means that, what does that mean personally? Well, I think everyone's got slightly different ways of receiving information from their higher self. Some people like JCK are incredibly visual.
Yeah.
Me, I kind of feel it. I feel, I get, if I listen to something truthful, I get this rush of energy.
This is why I say people are wrong to say people only get it one way or you can only do it this way. No, people get different things in. So someone's seeing something and someone's feeling something. Oh, well, you're wrong because you're not. It's like, no, I see a few things and I feel things. That's why I said I had to tune into Trump. Sorry, any Trump haters. And you just know at the end of the day because you get that frequency.
And I listen to it and it's getting stronger and stronger and I'm listening to it more and more. And also I kind of know things. So there's things, 5 or 6 years ago, I was getting downloads, and I was like, where are these coming from? And I was less conscious then, right? I was less conscious. I was drinking too much. I was, I wouldn't say I was
body
obsessed with money,
vibrations.
but I was very money driven. But I was bringing up 5 little kids and trying to hold my life together. And, so this video is really about consciousness rising, right? So everybody's consciousness is rising.
Yeah,
and it
definitely.
feels a bit disorientating.
Yeah.
In the last 5 or 6, the last year, I've been incredibly tired.
This is why people on the other side, it's like a jealousy thing that people are rising. Don't you want that? People are rising anyway. Yes, they're first going to wake up to a few little things that people went through a bit ago and they're going to come through it. But the point is, the consciousness is rising. And that's a good thing. More than ever.
Once in the day, and I've had to go for kips. And that's not normally the kind of thing that I would have done. I've just, go for a sleep in the middle of the day, and then, somebody out there might go, yeah, it's because you're old, Mark. Well, maybe it is that. But I've always been incredibly high energy, an incredibly high energy person, to the annoyance of some people. But I really have, I was quoting Doctor Who the other day. There's a line in The Talons of Wen Chiang, which is a classic Tom Baker story from 1975, 76, where he says, sleep is for tortoises. And I kind of spent my whole life thinking that basically if you're sleeping, you're missing out. You're missing out on life, which is probably why I've done so many things in my life, because I just want to take this life. And I kind of look back on my life and think,
oh, really so?
Yeah, I was always in a hurry, okay?
Yes,
but this
great.
Consciousness rising is an individual thing, but it's also a collective thing.
Helps us raise our energies.
Just look at coffee. Coffee, when I was a kid, was this horrible powder that tasted disgusting, and it was served in polystyrene cups that cost 10p for it. It was gross. Nobody drank coffee. And let's look at coffee now. So
no, you won't get left behind, Debbie, no.
Every different permutation you could possibly imagine, and it's now a high quality luxury product. Coffee is just one thing. Look at CBD oil that is now available in places where only a few years ago it was totally illegal. If you look around, the signs of consciousness rising are everywhere, but it's a little bit difficult to see when you're also surrounded by all this fear. And I'm on a number of
fear everywhere.
I'll just answer this call quickly.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm just recording a video. I will be free in a moment.
This made me laugh because it was like me with Red Pill Phil the other day. I'm like, just recorded a video. That was Red Pill Phil.
That's JC. Okay, JCK's just done a live and wants to tell me about it.
You're all doing the work.
So, consciousness, where was I? Yeah, so if you look around, you'll see that consciousness has been rising across the board.
And time's been going like...
vaccines are coming, Trump lost the election, guillotines being ordered in Canada, all the crap that's been going on in Australia. It does it can seem, very frightening. And I'm in a number of WhatsApp groups.
I ain't
people
frightened.
saying, all sorts. I'm going to just pull one up. One this morning was like, it's quite a common theme, actually. I'm not going to read it out exactly. And
Yeah, Debbie, you will find that your family are angry because a lot of people, this is what I'm trying to say, a lot of people are in confusion right now and frustration because of the fear that's put out there. So just do your work and it will show in the end anyway. And I'm about to show you something at the end of these videos that may help you if you've got a pen and paper.
Common theme is, look, I'm trusting the plan, but, I need to see some executing of the plan. But actually, it's all around us.
Yeah, that's what people in fear, they go back again. They like you said something about swimming. And, oh, we can't see the executing of it. Well, it's all around. Loads of people see it.
It's when you're actually affected by the fear state, that lowers your consciousness.
Yeah.
Your consciousness gets lower, your vibrational frequency goes down. And that
you didn't see me losing my shit when they said Trump lost because they can't call it yet anyway. Like I said, until the 14th of December or whatever it is, middle of December. I'm like, I didn't lose my shit and go, oh my God, it was like, no.
When you get attacked, that's when I do believe, and I know actually, it's not just a belief; it's a knowing that evil has already lost. This situation. We're in. But it hasn't completely gone. There's still evil out there, and it attaches itself to low frequency, right? So this is why, back to stand barefoot on the grass.
And that's why I believe other people blame other people because it's attaching to them because they're in a lower frequency, so they blame everyone around them instead of looking at themselves and what they're letting bring in because fear mode.
Eat organic vegetables, etc. That's raising your frequency. Okay, so you're eating the light. If you're eating green organic vegetables, you're literally eating the sunlight.
Because the sunlight goes on food.
I've known this for a long time, and it's been a long struggle for me.
And you eat the light.
Photosynthesis really, nearly killed me. 2 years ago, I nearly died. I certainly thought very seriously about taking my own life. And I know a lot of you watching this would have been through something similar. We've all had long, dark tea times of the soul. That's part of the journey to get to this point. And we've all been working hard. So back to being tired. I have been aware of the fact that I am working extremely hard
in all the realms.
When I'm asleep, and people tell me that they see me in their meditations and their dreams.
And funny enough, someone told me today who'd brought some earrings and was after one of my necklaces that it brought them a lot of joy because they have a bit of an illness, and they said it would give them a lot of spirit. And they said that they'd seen me in a dream in a house or something or whatever it was, but they saw me and I was like, I don't really feel tired when you're in the astral and you're everywhere in different dimensions because we're multi-dimensional beings. We can be in everywhere at once. Like I can be in the 3D, but I can also be over in the spiritual or in the astral or whatever because we are multi-dimensional. That's why I said it all needs balance. You can't be too much in just one thing all the time. We can this is why I said I can dip into 3D and talk about 3D, but I'm not in fear about it because I see what's going on. I see the bigger picture, many different layers, many bigger things coming on, even we don't know. And that's why someone who commented on someone else's channel was like, oh, Dolly like says she knows everything and nothing. We do know things because there's a knowing, and we also know nothing at all. Yeah, a bit contradicting, but not because, it's best to say you know everything and nothing. Because at the end of the day, what's coming, there's some things that are going to come that we're going to be like, oh my God, never saw that one coming, in a good sense though. But yeah.
All of this I can only hear now because I've worked so hard to try and get rid of my ego. You're watching me on a YouTube channel, you might think, he's a narcissist, he's on YouTube. Believe me, I'm not doing this for my health.
Great awakening,
I'm doing this because I'm compelled to do it.
And
I'm doing this because this is the time. The time is now.
The time is now. People can go on about the past, they want the cycles, they want this, that and the other, past. We're not talking about the past. That's how we keep regurgitating the past and doing the same things. We're not going to get anywhere with what's going on, but we are, because it's all about the now. And that's why a lot of new people did come out because, it's like the end game. The end, say like warriors are coming out. Fresh eyes, fresh energy. you know, and it's about the now. We're not talking about the past that other people want to be going on about all the time, because we're not regurgitating that anymore. You know, something different came in because of the energy that's been in and the manifestations that have been going on. So something came in as a tool, someone along with that as a big foghorn that can wake people up as well. But believe me, when all this hits, it's a work you need to be doing on yourself. And even some people that say, oh yeah, I've done it, will still be redoing it again when they fall flat on the face with what they thought they knew in something else I'm going to show you in a bit. Or it might be on here actually with Israel. The people that go on about Israel all the time and go on about stuff they don't know nothing about.
And a lot of other people understand that, and they're doing it as well. But not all of us are here to be communicators. You know, some of us are here to go and knock on the neighbour's door and just make sure they're okay. That's
Yeah,
all it takes.
that's doing it as well.
An increase in consciousness. But when you take these small acts on your day, instead of operating out of a fear base and hiding inside your house and wearing a mask when you go in the shop, don't do that. You know, go out and say, right, I'm going to go and check on Fred, see if he's okay. He's 85. Is he okay? You know, go and do that. Somebody sent me an email about that the other day, so I wanted to mention that as a good idea, because we need to be operating in the frequency of love, and you know, and I think the Greeks have like 16 different interpretations for the word love. So, you know, it doesn't necessarily just mean sex. It means love for your parents. It means love for your children. It means love for your neighbour. You know, love for your friends. You know, pick up the phone and tell somebody you love them. It's not difficult, is it? But when we're in a state of fear, things happen. So I call it clinging to the side of the swimming pool. So what that means is that you know, I couldn't swim very well at all as a kid. My mum used to dunk me under the water when I was about 4, so I had a fear.
And this, what he said, is great, because it is like having a fear of water, and people were like, oh, and then they went back and clung onto the side again.
Water. It took me quite a long time to swim, but I remember
Same as me.
when I did start swimming, I was always holding onto the side of the pool, right? And then eventually I drifted further and further into the middle.
I was like
I think
that.
it's similar with you know, but if somebody had come at me in the early days of me learning to swim, I'd have paddled back to the side of the pool frantically and grabbed onto the side. And this happens with people with their consciousness. If they get put into if they get exposed to an idea, or there's all this fear being pumped at them, then they will cling to the side of the pool in terms of going back to their programming. Okay, so a really good example of this happened yesterday on Facebook for me when I put up part 4 of the Full Cabal sequel. Right, so
The Full Cabal. The naysayers need to go and watch that.
there was Full Cabal, which had 10 parts. Janet, I don't get her name wrong. Let me just go check her name, because it's Dutch and I'm not great at pronouncing.
And a lot of us know about this channel and what went up with it.
Janet Ozabard, right, who is one of the true heroes of Earth right now. Okay, and Cynthia Kota co-produced Full Cabal, right? The Fall of the Cabal, parts 1 to 10, and these had over 50 million views. Okay, she has done more to wake up the world than probably anybody in history. And Janet, I personally am extremely grateful for the work that you've done, and you're continuing to do. She is a warrior of the highest order, and she's a scholar. And her documentary, Full of the Cabal, was just brilliant, you know, because it summed up everything that I've learned over the last 21 to 30 years, which got a boost. If you watch the interview I did with Alan, you'll know that he was the guy that introduced me to the protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion in 1999.
Now this is where people go on the other side. Oh my God, he said Zion. Oh my God, he's talking about, because they don't listen and they don't research.
When I read those, I was terrified, right? And you should be terrified if you read them. But what Janet has done is she's done a sequel to Full Cabal. It's in 17 parts, but she's just released the 4th part. She's releasing them as she goes along. And the 4th part, funnily enough, I was talking to Alan last week about the protocols of the Elders of Zion. And then Janet brings out part 4, and she talks at the weekend, which is great synchronicity. She's talking about the protocols of the Elders of Zion. So, you know, I emailed this out to my list, also put it up on Facebook, and I'm just going to share a screen to show you what happened on Facebook.
So when people get mixed up with the whole Jewish thing, that's why you get people shouting out, Trump's a Zionist, where. They don't know what they're talking about.
It is a great example.
It tells you on here. If you go to Mark Atwood, it tells you.
About our consciousness, right? So whenever I've mentioned the protocols of the Elders of Zion in the past, I've always said, if you go online and look it up, you will see that it is referred to as...
Remember that star, because they're going about the Rothschilds. That's why when you start talking about people going about the Rothschilds, we know about the Rothschilds. We know it was given to the Rothschilds, and he does say this in a minute. That star, they took over that symbol. That star, down and up, but as I say, like feminine and masculine. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. It's a spiritual thing anyway. And the real Jews, that's why I love Roseanne Barr. No, God. But people who don't see, and like I've always said, the Khazarian, they're the ones who pretend they're Jews, but they're not. But,
Anti-Semitic, right? And
yeah, exactly.
That just isn't true. It isn't anti-Semitic. It's just that that's how they've used it. Okay, so I'm going to read this quote out.
Use it against people. That's why a lot of people who come against me and talk about Trump, they put out this stupid crap they put out about he's a this and he's a Zionist. And he went to the prayer wall. He was allowed to go to the prayer wall. Peace in the Middle East, maybe.
Somebody said, I'm not going to bother watching this. Whatever the truth
and that's
is,
what people say. I'm not going to bother watching it because I know about all that's going on with the Jew and the Zionist and Trump's part of maybe you should listen to something.
I hope people are wise
going
enough
to look very silly soon.
The typical narrative of Jews are the problem everywhere in the world. I was born Jewish. No one I know owns any banks or plots against the world. Obviously, it makes sense to take a holy word and hijack it. Now, I fully understand where this person is coming from, but I felt compelled to answer it because this is a great example of where we go wrong. So I said, look, this documentary explains how the Jews have been amongst the biggest victims. You're just paraphrasing the nonsensical, cabal-controlled narrative by choosing to not watch it. There's never been a single post on this page which promotes hate.
And I find that with a lot of people, the narrative. So they don't want to look at a wider perception. They just want to look at a small piece, just in case they might be seen wrong. But they won't go and look at it anyway, just to see if, like, what if there is a bit of truth in there? Oh no, don't need to watch it. So, like Mark says,
division of any kind, and I encourage only free thinkers here. You might be in the wrong place. Now, I'm not picking on this person in any way, shape, or form, but I felt the need to say this because I've long known that anti-Semitism is just nonsense, right? It's used as a way of protecting these people.
Yeah.
I mean, the state of Israel
and all that fall into that bag of it. You're protecting them people because you're not doing your research and you're going along with their agenda.
Was given.
And that's why Q has always said the last one will be Israel. Rothschilds and maybe the ones who own the media as well, do you know what I mean? Because
the Rothschilds in 1919 in the Balfour.
Israel was given to the Rothschilds, and most of us know that, but most people don't listen to the other bit.
And this is the kind of thing that we all need to learn. So, a whole country was given to the Rothschilds family, right? That's what you need to understand. Why? Why was it given to them? And it was given to them full of Palestinians, who they then started exterminating, right? Which you should be horrified by. The whole world should be horrified by this. But because of this anti-Semitism and all of that kind of stuff, it's like an invisible wall around which you're not allowed to question. But if you actually go, this is actually the BitChute Full Caval channel. Because obviously Janet's original YouTube channel got taken down. Some of her videos are popping up on YouTube on other people's channel, but on BitChute at the moment, if you go to this channel, then you will see
exactly
that all of her stuff is here and it plays fine. I'm just going to play a piece of it now.
No, not necessarily. It only means they are connected. It only means the protocols were not new when they were published in Russia in 1905. They were not the minutes of a recent meeting between Zionists, as is claimed. But apart from that, One cannot draw any other conclusion.
Exactly, Lois.
It would be a literary blunder to simply state that the Protocols of Zion were based on the work of Maurice Joly or Venedet or any other 19th century author. As a linguist with a degree in paleography, the study of ancient documents, I can assure you that most statements about the Protocols of Zion are incorrect. Like the verdict of the court case, which was based on a highly unprofessional approach of the matter. The problem with the Protocols of Zion is that they are surrounded by emotions. The people who study them are confronted with their own belief system.
And remember, this is why what I'm going to show you on the board to put in your books all links into this to do with emotions and what you're feeling and what you think, blah, 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 blah. So that's why at the end of these videos, we'll go to the work that we're going to put in our books, our workbooks.
Meaning, if you blame the Jews of the wrongs in the world, you will tend to believe the protocols are genuine. You will use the protocols as proof of the evil of the Jewish people. However, if you are Jewish, or if you lost your Jewish friends in the war,
And I've said before, it's not the Jewish people.
you will tend to believe the protocols are a fraud, made only in Russia in 1905 to make the Jewish people look really, really bad. We believe the Protocols of Zion to be very old. It seems to us that they were the source text from which the other books arose, not the other way round. Remember Adam Weishaupt, founder of the Order of the Illuminati? In 1776, he put together a document that gave a clear overview of the aims, convictions, and protocols of the Illuminati, or the Cabal, the do's and the don'ts. That was his assignment, as given to him by Rothschild. Did he put those protocols together from scratch? We think that's highly unlikely. What if the original protocols were given to him by Rothschild? Remember the Constantinople letter given to Adam Weishaupt by Rothschild? Make no mistake, the Rothschild family was incredibly powerful. They were direct descendants from the Khazarian nobility that had fled Russia in around 1000 AD. You bet they had many original documents and protocols in their possession. Could those protocols be the original source text for the 20th century Protocols of Zion as published in Russia? If that is the case, you can rest assured that Khazar was altered in Jew, Khazarian,
Who's friends with Putin?
in Jewish, etc. The perfect text that would come in very handy as a trigger for anti-Semitism in the Russian Revolution and both world wars to turn the Jews into the ultimate scapegoats. The more we studied this subject, the more we came to realize how the Jews have been used by the Khazars throughout the ages to receive the blame of everything. Everything that went wrong, everything the high-ranked Khazars did to suppress the people, everything was blamed on the Jews. After all, for the outside world, the Khazars were Jews, remember?
So, she is such a good documentary maker, and I urge everybody to go and watch everything she's produced on this channel, because she sums it up. I mean, I did not know that these...
Yeah, thank you, Alyssa, for putting that. Notice Putin is one of the few leaders who didn't congratulate Sleepy Joe, even though he's not really been congratulated because he hasn't won. But yeah, he's friends with Trump and he knows what's going on because he passed the ball over a few years ago to Trump, said the ball's in your court, because we all know what's going on.
Protocols were 500 plus years old. But when we have context, as Janet is presenting...
I've seen bits of this, but I know the whole thing about, I don't mean the whole thing, but the understanding of what was going on with the Jew and why people shout out Semitic and this, that, and all that bull crap that they put out about Trump as well.
It becomes obvious how evil, deeply evil and long-term and clever this deception of the human race has been. And she is doing an amazing, amazing job. And, remember...
And I'd like to say yet again to the naysayers out there who don't want people coming up over their in their journey in pursuit of truth, is because There's other people that haven't woke up in the beginning to wake up, so they need people that are on YouTube and wherever and what platforms to see what people are talking about. They'll find their own way with what they resonate with. So it's not for people to be telling people what they shouldn't be doing. People are waking up, and there's people that have just started, and they need to see people out in the world talking about these things, even if we're repeating what we've said before, because it's needed.
Most of the things that you know or believe that you know were put there.
Yeah, our whole world history is
This
just
is the thing that people
oppose and fabricate. Yeah, it
easily
is.
forget, and that's why they cling to the side of the pool, because they're going back to their indoctrination. And we have a major job here to. We all have a responsibility to raise our consciousness on a daily basis as much as possible, because what that does is it allows us to let go of everything. I mean, the fundamental tenet of Taoism is let go. My whole
And this is what I've been talking about, letting go of what doesn't align with you anymore.
the last 2 or 3 years of my life have all been about letting go of everything. Your ego, your supposed knowledge of the way the world works, physics, chemistry, it's all lies. Everything's a lie, and this has been
Yeah, Captain Cecil.
nothing more or nothing less than a war on consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay. So which brings me to Graham Hancock. Now, Graham Hancock is one of my heroes, and Graham did a talk on TED. My God, was it that long ago? 7 or 8 years ago.
And we know people were talking about
After
stuff
watching
years
this,
ago,
it's called
but
The War
like
on
we said, it's called the
Consciousness.
Great Awakening.
I'll just play a piece of it now.
On the Amanita muscaria mushroom, we have the DMT in the ancient Egyptian tree of life. We have the whole global cultures of surviving shamanism, and what it's all about is a state of consciousness that's designed to help us find balance, harmony. The ancient Egyptians would have called it Ma'at, with the universe, and to remain mindful that what we're here to undertake on Earth while immersed in matter is fundamentally a spiritual journey aimed at the growth and perfection of the soul, a journey that may go back to the very origins.
The growth and the perfection of the soul, that is what we're trying to do. The growth, the expansion, as I said earlier.
What made us human in the first place. And I stand here invoking the hard work.
What made us human in the first place, which I said the other week about people who are too up airy-fairy up there and not putting the balance in of what made us human in the first place. Not what corrupted us and hoodwinked us. We all know about that. But this is why I say to people, it's in balance. You've also got to remember, yes, you're a spiritual being having a human experience, but you've got to remember we are human too. We're in two realms. We're in different multi-dimensional. We're in two bodies. We have a physical vessel and a spiritual vessel. Don't forget about your human self as well. That is just as important. So this is why the 3D world will be rising. It is rising. It has risen. And we're going along with that as well. It's never happened before in the other cycles, because it's always got to that point where not enough people have woke up, or it fell because everyone's gone back to their old cycles, patterns and programming. They've gone back into the programming. A lot of people who woke up years ago, I don't mean everyone, but some people did fall back into that because they went into fear. But we're not doing that this time, because we're not in fear this time. A lot of us, and when you're waking up past all the bullshit, you come out of fear. You're not in fear of anything. It's just like you're holding your light.
Right of freedom of speech to call for and demand another right to be recognized, and that is the right of adult sovereignty over consciousness. There's a war on consciousness in our society, and if we as adults are not allowed to make sovereign decisions about what to experience with our own consciousness while doing no harm to others.
No harm to others, just like, what was it? Jesus would have said, you can do the things that you enjoy, no harm to others, because it will all come back to you anyway. Don't do to others that you don't do to others that you wouldn't do to yourself. I've always said humans were born of love. They didn't know it till it was projected on them, till they were taught, till they were hoodwinked into believing certain things, labels and everything that divides, blah, 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 blah.
Including the decision to use responsibly ancient and sacred visionary plants, then we cannot claim to be free in any way. And it's useless for our society to go around the world imposing our form of democracy on others while we nourish this rot at the heart of society, and we do not allow.
There's even people that do all that, they'll do certain plants, this, that and the other, but there's still people who will stay in that realm of like, yeah, but you've also got to know you're human as well, and how you bring that in to the physical realm of, bringing, yes, we all know we're connected everywhere, most people do, fingers are tingling, But there's also that, you need to balance that as well. I know some people who've done stuff, and I don't know if they just have kept doing it, where that bit of dark creeps in because they were in that fear when they first went into it. And I do believe certain things sometimes, you know, I know myself from when I was younger, and that if you have a trip and you have a bad trip because you're thinking bad things, you'll see bad things. That to me is the same thing as if you're in a lower state of frequency, you will bring crap things into your life. That goes along with crap people. This is why I say to people, be very careful of who you're hanging around with, what sort of people you're with, who are whispering in your ear, because if you're having people that are not sort of telling you, no, that doesn't really matter, like certain somebody, you've got people around you telling you to egg people on about stuff, of how you're trying to bring them down and this, that and the other, and you're acting a bit trollified, just saying as an example, and you've not got people around you saying, look, you need to focus on what you're focusing on, and that's all that really matters, then I don't know what sort of people are around you if they're into the whole drama and don't want to help you and saying it's not really doing you any good, so why are you not moving forward with it?
Individual freedom over consciousness. It may even be that we're denying ourselves the next vital step in our own evolution by allowing this state of affairs to continue, and who knows, perhaps our immortal destiny as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I highly recommend you go and look up. I'll put a link in the show notes. Graham Hancock, The War on Consciousness. This was banned at the same time as a talk by an amazing guy called Rupert Sheldrake, who talked about the morphic resonance field, which is also something I highly recommend you go and look into. And Graham here was talking about...
and I think he talks about the reset in this one, because we're not talking about the New World Order reset. When we talk about our reset, we're talking about being reborn again, going into new things. Not that, because there's two. There's two resets, not theirs.
Ayahuasca, peyote, magic mushrooms, and plant medicine being used as a tool to help us evolve our consciousness.
Have we just played that?
I do believe that these plants are all put... And I want to say the same thing to everybody watching this. You are all spiritual warriors. That's why you're during that breathing. Rebecca Dennis is a belief system. It's not. It's just another tool. And it's the same with from me. Start using it, please, because you don't. Being in a state of having no money is really a function of your.
Oh yeah, this was. Let me go back a little bit.
Spread the good word on this channel, hopefully. But if you can't afford it, I'll send them to you for free, which is what I've been doing. I've sent thousands of them out for free, and I've also sent people my guide on manifesting, because if you get...
Effie, you've just said that, and my tablet is propped up on... Natural healing for women. I've got books like that as well, like what you just said.
Guide on manifesting from me. Start using it, please, because you don't... Being in a state of having no money is really a function.
Yeah, people go on in the state of having no money. People go on in the state in fear, and these people talk about frequencies, and now they know you create your own reality. Yet they go into fear, and they're bringing in basically what they deserve, because they're in fear and they're just attracting what they're pumping out.
Your consciousness and your belief system around money. It's like saying that Bitcoin is evil is a belief system. It's not. It's just another tool. And it's the same with plant medicine. They're tools, right? The biggest spiritual journey that I ever had was actually through a breathing class.
See, breathing class. You can use certain tools to wake you up. Q is one of them as well. Plants, all that sort of stuff. It doesn't mean if someone goes, oh, I'm into my mushrooms and my plants and all this, you're not spiritual because you haven't had the... You can do it through many different techniques, because there's different techniques and different tools you can use to, awaken you, to heal you and everything. So like I said, there's different things for different people with what people resonate with. It's not just one way of doing something.
Amazing woman in a forest.
That's what I find funny
Watford
about people.
A couple of years ago, I was out for hours. And by the way, if the person that helped me out during that breathing, Rebecca Dennis was the name of the woman that facilitated it, and she's written a book on it. I highly recommend you go and look up Rebecca Dennis. But there was a woman that was helping me during the process, and she whispered in my ear, "You're a warrior." Right when I was in the middle of it. And if you I don't know who you are, but if you're watching this and you remember me, I want to thank you for that, because that gave me so much strength. And I want to say the same thing to everybody watching this. You are all spiritual warriors.
Yeah.
That's why you're watching this.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a job to do, and we're doing it. And we're doing it really, really well. And you've got to look inside your heart
Hi,
to
Captain
know
Sees
that
Kelp.
these incredible things are happening. So before I get to
Oh,
things
yeah.
like Matt Hancock's arrest and Jasara being brought in, there's a couple of things I want to show you there. But I think it's important to watch this first. And this is, I've mentioned this a couple of times, this is Plato's allegory of the cave. And I love this version of it.
Right, I'm
because
just
it's
going to
set
watch
on
this and then you can
clay.
watch the rest of this yourself.
And this really does go into, this really explains what's going on right now. And I think it will give you a lot of strength to watch it.
Imagine prisoners that have spent their entire lives chained deep inside a cave. They have been chained so that they cannot see behind themselves.
This is like what's going on in the world now with the people who are constantly watching mainstream media and blah, blah, blah. Prison mind, in a prison.
And they are forced to stare endlessly at the cave wall in front of them. Behind them, a fire is burning. And between the prisoners and the fire is a raised walkway.
Thank you, Phil Leaks just said, "Hi Dolly, just arrived tonight. Sorry if you discussed this prior. Did you see Charlie's video?" I did see a bit of it, but I've not discussed it on. Trump already announced Nazar, yeah, I can never say it. It sounded very convincing. I saw a little bit, so people can go and check Charlie Ward out with that woman. I have got a little bit from that actually, but, was it that or something? But like we said, we know certain things were coming in. It's just all playing out, but thank you.
That each day, a menagerie of objects crosses the walkway. Animals carrying their wares to market. The shapes create an intricate shadow play on the wall in front of the prisoners.
Bit fearful.
The only world that the prisoners have ever known. Shadows, echoes of unseen objects. Now, imagine that the prisoner is released. After some time adjusting to the blinding light, the freed prisoner will begin to experience the world outside of the cave for the very first time. And it is like nothing he could have ever imagined. With his new perception of the world, the man will of course want to return to his friends to share his incredible discoveries. But the prisoners cannot recognize their old friend. He appears as all things do. His voice is a distorted echo, and his body is a grotesque shadow. They cannot understand his fantastic stories of the world outside of the cave. To them, never exist. This, of course, does not make the world outside of the cave any less real.
And I just love that version of that story. Did you notice the line, it took him some time adjusting to the blinding light? You know, I think that's what's happening at the moment. Is
Yeah.
that some of us are
Adjusting.
adjusting to this new light that's coming into the earth, this new DNA sequence, this
Yeah.
ascension process.
Yeah.
Is, you know, over the last 3 or 4 days, I personally have felt a little bit like lost, and a lot of people have been saying similar things, that
I
they
haven't.
feel like they're floating, or they're not quite
It's just
here.
time fast,
I'm getting that from lots and lots of people, and I think it's because we are adjusting to maybe one of the things we're having to let go of is time, because I think I mentioned this earlier already, but time is definitely.
Yeah, the only thing with Boris Johnson is he hasn't got it. He's just gone into quarantine because he got track and trace and said he'd been near someone who had it. So I don't even feed into it all. But yeah, just saying about times just going, it is.
Changing, and has been changing for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just because I'm getting old that it seems to be for all of those who put something cheeky on saying that you're going to be over 35 and time goes quicker. My 16-year-old son is noticing it. So, that's anecdotal, but that's as good as we've got. And my intuition.
Yeah, Boris got into hiding more like.
This whole 3D to 5D thing is really, really fascinating to me. I've been trying to work out what 5D is for years now, and I was watching Janet's, I can't pronounce her name, let's go back to it. Osbard. Janet Osbard did a brilliant interview the other day with somebody on YouTube who I think is called the Revolution Network. Doctor somebody, can't remember. He's really good, and I apologise for forgetting his name. I've just got so much information I can't retain it all.
Hi, Eve.
And they were laughing because they get asked about 5D a lot, and they both said, well, we don't really know much about it, so we don't answer the question. And then they went into 20 minutes basically explaining what 5D is, which is, it's basically living in the frequency of love, which means turn off your TV, stop reading the national newspapers, meditate, eat organic food.
See, love to me, living in the frequency of love isn't just about everyone going, oh, you've got to love each other. It's about loving yourself. It's about setting thyself free. It's about you. That's with boundaries as well. That's how I see it. But the love of it's not just like, oh, loving everybody. Yeah, but if you don't love yourself first and get well in yourself and heal, because you want to heal because you love yourself, so you want to try and, bring these old programming down. You want to try and give yourself good food. You want to try and get in a higher mindset. You want to try and, maybe exercise or whatever it is that's good for your body, for in the vessel that you are in. So check out Mark's channel, because I'm not going to show that all night, even though there's only a little bit left. But check out Mark Atwood, and that was Raising Your Consciousness. The other thing I want to show you is absolutely brilliant. There's two little more bits that I want to show you, and then we're going to go to the written work on the wall. Just because I woke up to this morning, and this made me laugh, because when I get the orbs in, and when I get the blue ones in, I always think Arcturian. I just think Arcturian energy, and you don't have to believe what I'm into, but I'm like, healing. Hi Brenda. So I'm just like, yeah, Arcturian. And then this pops up, because this is a channel that I resonate with a lot. It's like I said, it doesn't mean I resonate with everything, I just resonate. And it was an Arcturian council message, done in a certain voice. And some people will be naysayers, but if you actually listen to it, and the video's ace, because it's one of my favourite films, which is Avatar, which we all know we're connected. You've got the AOR tree, like the tree of life, all that stuff. Avatar, our body, our spiritual selves. We know what that film was about also, with the Native American Indians and all that. But the actual message in it doesn't matter who brought the message. Don't shoot the messenger. Listen to it, because that was just like, yes. And then there was something else. And then I'm going to show you the work that we can do in our workbooks. Because this was just beautiful. And like, I love Avatar anyway. That is one of the highest resonating films ever. Of the newest short films, and they're bringing a new one out, and I'm like, oh my god. But let's just listen to this. You don't resonate, but I resonate with all of it. It's not too long. Here we go, because this is the whole thing I'm trying to get to the point of when I do the work on the board over there, to show you of what we're trying to do now. Doesn't matter about, I don't mean it doesn't matter about everyone else, but you need to be doing the work on yourself. So let's go. Listen to this. Above duality. Hang on.
Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are watching and waiting for the right opportunities to bring you even more of the downloads of.
See the little fly things? They just remind me of orbs, consciousness coming from the AOR tree.
And activations that you have been asking for.
Great when it resonates so much. As most of us know. We know it's more beyond what looks
we are
critical.
always willing to give, but you fact, to be available to receive what we are given.
This is about receiving, and this is why I love this message. If you're in fear, well, you listen to it, you're not going to receive. You have to be receiving, you have to be in that frequency. Yeah, I know, Phil. Wait till I do it.
That December 21st will be one of those times where we will have the opportunity to share with you more of what you've been asking for.
Goes right through
You'll be
me.
expecting something big, and that expectation opens you up, puts you in a state where you are more receptive.
Yes, as Phil says there, to see the opportunity, you have to open your mind. Exactly.
One of the reasons why we tell you to tune out from all that is being speculated about on the internet is because when you are in your heads and out of your bodies, you are not very receptive. When you are angry about something that may or may not happen, you are not very receptive.
When you are angry about something, a lot of people in fear and anger, you're not very receptive. This is why I wanted to show this with the work that's on the wall.
When you are angry about something that isn't even true in your reality, you are also not very receptive.
See that there? Did you see the t-shirt he had on? That's a healing symbol. Show you again.
When you are angry about something that isn't even true in your reality, you are also not very receptive. That is why we will continuously invite you to do what brings you the most joy, what lights you up and turns you on. We will continue to invite you to look within yourselves, to connect with nature and Mother Earth. And we will do so because we know that when you are in a more relaxed or more joyous state,
More receptive.
you are far more receptive to what you want and what we want to give you. You have got to trust in yourselves, your higher selves, all of us in the higher realms and the universe, rather than trusting in what someone else tells you is the plan. You have always been.
We are the plan. Like I say in the higher plan, someone will say, yeah, but you say trust the plan with Q. I do trust the plan with Q as well, but I know that that's part of a higher plan as well. We are the plan. We are the plan. We are the digital soldiers. We are the ones we've been waiting for, so on and so forth. Written in the prophecies of the rainbow tribe will return when things are going a bit tits up. Well, the rainbow tribe is us, human beings, every hue, colour of the rainbow, human beings.
The plan. You have always been the ones who are going to wake up first and lead the rest of humanity into the golden age of the fifth dimension. But you have to make yourselves available to your own natural spiritual evolution.
Paint myself blue.
When we and others like us give you what we are giving you, we are just playing a role for you. It is really you doing all the planning and orchestrating. You are the ones pulling all of the strings. And the more you convince yourselves that someone else is doing it, the more you experience that.
One of the best films ever.
So please, let us help you in between 11/11 and December 21st. We are more than willing to give you all that you are asking for and more. Be the light. Love somebody. Connect with an animal, a tree, or the ground. And do us all a favor by relaxing and enjoying the moment.
Tingles! always loved this bit at the end of the film. I see you. Yeah, most people feel at home watching that.
And I was looking into the eyes of my friend Anna, and I just
Said that before, you know, a lot of people, you know, really resonated with that film. That's Avatar, and we've got a new one coming out. That's Avatar. Yeah, you have a tingle when you watch that. I always connected to that song, and I see you. And that's why I can say to people sometimes, I've said to my fella, when we've had disagreements about things and like, you know, because it's just labels and stuff, and I've turned around and gone, yeah, but the difference is I see you. I see your soul within you. I see you. Not what you're saying. I see your frequency. I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to change within yourself. I see you. And I know he sees me too. It's intent. So there's something else I just want to show you a little bit of. And it was just what this woman was saying. I don't know if I've seen this woman before, but it was on Above Duality, which I'm going to check out before I go to bed because I only got to catch a little bit of it. Above Duality again, they did the Galactic Round Table. Doesn't matter if you're not into all that. It's what the woman says a little bit in after Magenta Pixie has a chat. By the way, it's what these other people go against, Magenta Pixie. So great chat with a round table. So I just want to show you this bit.
When we see
Not this bit.
Pleiadian shapes, we see a sphere of light because it's
Like I said before, it's not about who knew first and what we're doing. It's about helping others come through it because that is what's happening. So this lady, it's just what she said. Don't think I've come across it before, but she was on the round table, the Galactic Round Table, United We Stand, because that's what it's about. And by the way, Avatar, the film, this is where I don't stand with all the bull crap with some of the light and love communities. Avatar, the beings in it were peaceful until we know what happened there with, you know, the army and the government and all that coming in to try and wreck the sacred land there, you know, a bit like the Native American Indians, because I know that's what it's about, but there's also different stories and things going on within that as well, was when they, I've said this before, it's like, you know, Lord of the Rings and all that, when the shit hit the fan, because they were killing people and killing the land and the AOR tree, they came together with the animals, with Earth, with Gaia, and they all fought against the evil, and that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now. So it doesn't mean, oh, we're all spiritual, yeah, we all love the earth and all that, but we're not going to battle back. Well, we are battling back because we're actually in a war, and it's a massive spiritual one as well. But it's acting out in the physical as well. But we've already won it up there, so we're winning it down here. We've won. But we still got to keep boots on the ground. So just let me get to this.
Protocol. What's to look at that? But where we should be looking, which people
Right,
are
it's just
not
Magenta
aware
Pixie
of,
talking about
not aware,
another video she put up a bit ago.
is
So
America. That's where our eyes should be right now.
yeah,
Because what happens in America,
happens here,
this is
around
the
the
very
world,
thing
which I've said
that I've
before.
been telling me about for 12
People don't
years.
get it.
All eyes on America. What happens in America affects the rest of the world.
America
It
falls, we
spill
all
out
fall.
to the rest of the planet, and we're in it now. So that's where we need to look. Obviously, I'm talking on a physical level. Obviously, in truth, when you're aware, you don't look anywhere else outside of you. You look within.
Exactly.
But you can look within and look without at the same time,
Exactly.
as Kiara was, saying. So I hope.
And that's what I do. You can look within and without because it's just about being aware for the people who say, you have to go within. You're allowed to look.
Answers your question.
Because within, the shit's happening on the outside of what's happening with us all within at the minute. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, beautiful.
Listen to this lady.
Marina, I know you're maybe on a little bit of a time cut today. Would love to hear your wonderful wisdom and add on.
Thank you, Effie's
to that
putting
if
all
you
the
would,
channels
yeah.
in live chat.
Well, thank you for having me. Hello, everybody. Nice
Yeah, I did a live chat the other day, Phil.
to meet you, Patricia, for the first time. Okay. I will totally concur with Magenta.
That was very interesting because when I heard about her, there were so many similar stuff of what I was getting from the Council of Nine that I started paying very close attention to Magenta's channeling. And I think the same thing was spot on what I was told, even in a different way, of course. But I was, and I'm going to quote, I have a book that is called The Predictions. And in there, they gave me, the Council of Nine gave me a specific
Flying
code,
dragons.
by words, of course, that actually was showing what is the timeline agreement that we have for Ascension Protocol, what's happening ahead of time. And the code for the end result for everything was the planet Earth is
I didn't
definitely
know about
moving
her.
to the new age. This program they were giving me, like it's a program that is shutting down from the consciousness itself. Basically, consciousness had certain program that was playing on. Everybody had a freedom to do whatever they want to, but now the program is finishing. I'm moving to the next level of frequency vibration. And whoever play whatever they play out, now is the new age. And if you want to get on a train and move forward, you're welcome to do so. If not, these timelines, because they're changing the frequency vibration, will collapse for itself in a different resonance.
Funny, because I said that months ago or last year about what train are you on? You know, if you're on this train, we're going off to, you know, a higher frequency. You pull the train lever, we're going off up that way. You want to pull it and stay down there, low vibe, and you go on that track down there, but we're all going off there.
It will stay behind, which they can create different timelines. And eventually this timeline will self-destruct or go back to extinction, to the source, main source. However, everybody that is choosing in a positive is staying. So they did tell me that DT is going to be a winner by a landslide.
We all know this.
They told me, and I said that publicly months before that it's going to be a battle. And I said it's going to be something tricky going on there. But understand that in the end is going to be in the name of humanity. So now I know also they told me that he has to choose to stay second term. They told me that the White House of the military is running the entire program, but not only to the U.S., but it's global operation. As we running this program. And they also told me that that family, DT family, will be like a dynasty.
Of course they will. There's loads of them.
So I don't know how this is going to play out.
Well, the Kennedys as well.
I don't know who is going to come down and who's going to be up, because what they told me, they discussed about the chess game. And the chess game is that they will give information to, for example, all of us here that in this panel, certain timeline of what's really happening, but they're not going to give you exactly what is going on and who may be the...
Said this before, they don't give exactly what's going on or to understand it at the time, sometimes a little bit after, because then they'd be getting that information.
Main players sometimes, because they're obviously watching people like us. And if all the information is being given to somebody like us, not only that we're going to be in a line of fire, which we already see what's happening, but also you're giving them exactly what consciousness is doing. And this is why in a Project Looking Glass, whoever they had the psychics looking through the timelines, they couldn't see above fifth dimensional structure. Consciousness was...
Yeah, they said that they couldn't see above fifth dimensional consciousness because they couldn't... They knew how things were going, but they couldn't see above it because it'd give it to the dark side, obviously, you know. I knew about that.
Platform. It was giving them a different type of reality, which was implementation in another hologram from consciousness itself or extraterrestrial version. We already know, because I'm totally into technologies of my material. I totally understand that. But actually, extraterrestrials and high consciousness can cluster within the program that is running for Ascension, another virtual reality hologram. And that particular psychic that is running against the harsh structure will tune in and download information based on that reality. And the information that is going to be given is of this information of what's really going to be happening in Ascension, because consciousness is self-sabotaging everybody that is against the structure for humanity. Why? Because within the holographic imprint of consciousness, yin and yang, negative, positive, coexist at the same time. And you have to be in center, understand, and give things to play out. But when you go to ascension and you have a consciousness that is awakened now and wish to go to the next level, is against the bylaw for consciousness itself to suppress another consciousness to moving forward. And
that's what I was saying before about suppressing another consciousness to moving forward, like some people I was talking about before. And the whole thing of waiting, we're waiting for others to catch up as well. Like other people were waiting for us to catch up. So people have got to get over that. That's how I see it. And yes, I do believe we're having a sort of utopia, Phil, in the end when certain stuff comes out and, people realise, and then that's what we work towards. So,
this is the reason why is all interaction from the extraterrestrial happen.
Thank you,
high
Shannon.
consciousness and people like us are being in some level, into that situation, because you have to allow this consciousness to have the free will to move forward if they awaken. However, whoever is not and chooses to believe one way or another, they have their freedom. But the goal was to do such a manipulation and such a clever, genius way from the negative side, so we all between each other, fighting between each other, and except the way
all fighting between each other. Like this person's trying to fight with me. Well, she's not fighting because whatever. Because it's all to divide and conquer. You know what I'm saying? And they do put a lot of stuff out that is, twisted up. Like we're all saying we think and know with this ascension, like the light that's coming in. A few people thought last year they were going somewhere and it never happened. We don't know really beyond that. We think we do, but I think it's going to be more magical than we actually know when, the rest of the people catch up and we go forward with the new energies and stuff that's coming in anyway. That's here.
Magenta said everybody's focusing on different people. We should focus on combining our power the way we're doing in this panel, and thank you for that, so we can move
And we combined our power in this chat as well.
forward. They help each other to move forward without judging. The problem is that one way or another somebody is attacking between each other, and this is exactly what they want. And why is that necessary for them? Because they're running on a different frequency vibration, and they want to grab as much as people they can towards their timeline, which is artificial timeline based on the technologies and anything else, to sustain their life force, because your body is a frequency vibration of a life force and they need you as a back.
So I'm not playing all that because I want to show you what we're going to do now, but that just resonated. Other people will say that about what they think the timeline of Q is, but that's up to them because I'm not interested in that. I see what I see, they see what they see. Guess we'll all see at the end, won't we? So it just all ties in with suppression and that. We're learning about our frequencies. Who's vibrating tonight? Are you all on this frequency? Yes, hell yes. So like I said, if you've got a book and you've got your pen ready, if Dolly can't cope with arseholes, then so can... Yeah, if Dolly can cope with arseholes, so can... Exactly, Cheryl. Some people say don't bring it up. I was going to bring it up a little bit more than I was going to, but I just thought... No, it's just an experience I'm having, and these people are acting like, So, if you want to join in with this every week, we're going to do it's a bit like a workshop. So, get a really good size, a decent size notepad. If you only got a little one, it's all right. You can just jot this down and then get yourself one because they're not dear. It doesn't matter if it's lined, squared, blank, or whatever. You can decorate this. I'm going to decorate it. I'll show you next week. You can have fun with it. It's going to be, what did I write down? It's going to be your sacred place, your little book of, like I said, shadows, book of shadows, mirrors. I'm going to call it self-evolution because it's what we are. It's an expansion of you. And it's just for you, really. So what did I put on here? Did I write something down? I thought I wrote something down. Yeah, I did write something down. Yeah, it's just going to be your sacred place where you can put things in. It's not really for anybody else. It's for you because it's the work you're doing on you. What did I put? About letting go, reflecting on stuff in your life, not anybody else. I'm just seeing if I wrote some notes on this. I did, but I guess it doesn't really matter because I know what I'm talking about anyway. Just checking under it. So what you're going to do is, it's your sacred place. Oh yeah, you'll feel the love in this chat. It's your sacred place to go into and work on yourself. And it's just easier when you're seeing it written down than trying to remember, because we do forget. We do get brought into lower states of frequency sometimes with triggers, and there's lots of that going about right now with the energy and everything's flowing. And that's why other people will feel like a victim mode or whatever because of all these energies that are going about. So they want to blame other people. So what we're going to look at, I'm going to show you and then I'm going to read it out so you can write it down. If you get your book, pencil and pen ready, what we're going to do on the first page is, I haven't done this in my book yet, mine's on the wall. I was going to show you on the wall, but I don't know why I'm showing you, why I have to go over here, but I will do. I will do, and then I'll take it off. I don't know why. I was going to sort of sit down thinking it'd be behind me, but it's actually not. So it didn't work out. It's too high up, and the board doesn't turn around the other way. So we're doing this one, we're doing a spiral, and then we're doing the hands, and I'll tell you what the hands are about in a minute. So I was going to try and do it on the whiteboard like a teacher, but it was too high up, so that isn't going to work out. So I'm going to show you down here. So if you're not good at drawing, it doesn't matter. You can just scribble a spiral and an arrow, or you can draw a sort of thing that I drew. So you're going to have a spiral. You could just do a whatchamacallit, let me show you. You need an arrow up, and then you need a spiral going around the bottom right up to the top because it's spiraling up. So you could just draw that, an arrow up, and it's like a spiral up, and then one underneath down, and then smaller starting from the top and then going down. So it looks like this. So I'll just leave that there a minute. So you've got upward spiral, this one, and then you've got downward spiral, this one. And then I'm going to read out because you probably can't see the writing next to it. And on either side, you can write what the upward spiral is and what the downward spiral is. And then I'll tell you how you can use this to help you look at certain experiences and things that you're having. So you just need to, you can just note this down and then do it neater in your book later or whatever. So you've got a spiral up and a spiral down. And I'll just give you a few minutes if you're all writing that. Give us a thumbs up when you've sort of done your little diagram of spiral up. You can even just write spiral up and spiral down and write the things in, and then you can always get a bit arty-farty with it later. If you're not arty-farty, you don't have to do it. And it's good to do this when you do this work. I'll tell you in a minute. It's nice to do it when you've got some sacred time, which meaning the kids aren't about, 10 minutes or whatever it is, maybe with a candle on, the lovely, what they call pink Himalayan salt, candles or lamps, maybe do some incense and get in that mode of like, it's just you with your book, not everyone screaming around you and things going on the TV on. It needs to be quiet time, maybe before you go to bed. You can do it in bed, it doesn't matter. First thing in the morning, any time that you get a bit of like, just a bit of space, sacred space where it's just for you, right? So thumbs up, right? So you should have done that by now. So in the upward spiral, you are going to write, I've put like so many down that side and so many down that side. You can just write it in, like I said, do it after. It doesn't have to be neat. You can do it. You can do it rough and then put it in, and you've got a bit of time to neaten it up. Not that it matters anyway, but anyway. You're going to have, in the spiral, upward spiral, you're going to have the word joy. So we'll let you write that down. Then you're going to have the word, I've put on the opposite side, but you can do it in a big line, or don't matter. This isn't in the way, but I'm just going to do it the way I've done it. So I've got joy on this side, and then freedom. And then we've got love. And then on this side, we've got empowerment. And then we've got passion. And then we've got eagerness. And then we've got enthusiasm. Have we all got that in at the minute? And then we've got happiness. There's lots more as well, but we're just putting the rough ones in. Hopefulness, optimism, contentment, and positivity. So you could add quite a few to that, but basically The upward spiral is just easy to look at. Right, so yeah, so you've all got that. Now, the downward spiral did have a word over it saying boredom, because boredom is a downward spiral, really, because out of boredom sometimes, you know. Anyway, so the downward spiral, we're going to write the words, you know, this side to that side, this side to that side, doesn't really matter. We've got boredom, and then on the opposite side, we've got, is it pessimism? And then we have frustration and irritation. We have impatience. A lot of people are very impatient. Doubt. We have worry, anger. We have rage, hatred. We have jealousy, guilt. And we have insecurity and powerlessness. That's on the downward spiral. So I'll just give you a chance to write all that in. And thumbs up when you finish, and then I'll tell you how we're going to use that, and then I'll go to the hand thing, because the hand thing's be a bit more creative, and I'm going to show you next week what I did, and hopefully in the end we'll do things where I'll be showing maybe some of your work at some point. I can do stuff. So give us a thumbs up when you've wrote that down. Ooh, I'm painting a big flower in my bathroom wall. That's great. Hand and spiral's roughly done. Just a thumbs up when you finish. The ones who are joining in, you don't have to join this in, but I believe it might help. I'm just trying to give some solutions that might help you with your mindset and raising your frequencies, especially coming up to the 21st of December. Can I see again? Yeah, I'll just leave it there a minute. So you've got an upward spiral, and then you can just write the words on either side of your spiral. That's upward. Ooh, I just got really disconnected then. That's got a happy face on, because that's your upward spiral, raising your frequency. The downward spiral, you know, you can draw it out the same as mine with a little face on. You can get creative, or it could just be a stick arrow with a swirly bit round it. So I'll just leave that there while you're all giving a thumbs up, just so you can see. So I'll just quickly go over what's on the upward spiral again. Joy, freedom, love, empowerment, passion, eagerness, enthusiasm, happiness, hopefulness, optimism, contentment, positivity. Downward spiral, boredom, pessimism, frustration, irritation, impatience, doubt, worry, anger, rage, hatred, jealousy, insecurity, guilt, and powerlessness. So now I'm going to tell you how we're going to use this. Why that Pacific date? Have to wait and see, won't you? Right, I'm not talking about that now. Right, so in your book, what you can do is when you feel triggered or something's upset you emotionally, I want you to go in. I'm going to be doing this as well. Go in your book where you've put this chart. This chart will be like the basis to go to and think, right, what is that? Like, what is that? And what you could have is an extra book, an extra notebook to put your writings down, because this book will probably get filled up with lots of different tools, because this is a tool that you can use which one you want to pick out and go to. So yeah, you could get yourself another notebook, or maybe even a folder, you know, where you can get loose paper and you can just make one big folder with your thoughts, because you are going to be journaling as well. Where did I write this down about journaling? Because journaling is really good for your mindset, to get it out of your system, and to also look back on. Some things not to look back on. We're going to be doing different work with different things to get past sort of stuff. Upward spiral, joy, yeah. And Lois has put the upward spiral. Thank you, Lois. Lois has just put the upward spiral in the chat with all the words, and then I'm assuming she's going to do the downward. So it is in the live chat if you want to go back and see the words. But a journal, I don't even know, I'm looking for my notes, I don't need them. We're going to keep a journal as well. So you've got like your little workbook, but there's a journal as well that you can write in to have a look at what is bugging you. So what you'll do is, whenever you're at the minute with all this energy that's coming and all the other stuff that's going to be coming over the next few weeks and stuff, leading up to Christmas and New Year, it's just a good thing to go to. You're going to go to your chart and say, let me pick an example. well, you basically need to know where you're at that chart, I would say. So are you in the downward spiral? These words are what you need to look at. I'm in an upward spiral because I creativity comes into upward as well. The joy, because I get a lot of joy out of my creativity. I'm quite passionate about what I talk about. I feel empowered. I'm quite happy. I'm optimistic. I'm positive. I'm quite content with what's going on in my life, even though I'm not saying everything's perfect, but I'm quite content with what's going on. So I know I'm more in a upward spiral than I am ever down there. It's not meaning you don't ever go down there, but if you ever waver and you go down here, check out on the chart what it is. Are you bored? Right, well, if you're bored, you need to look at the opposite, because everything's comparison. Everything's not comparison. What is it? Everything's what's the other word? Contrast. So, or the opposite. So if you're bored, that means you need to go and do something. Because you can sit with your thoughts a lot and think things that aren't even there. If you're in anger about something, why are you in anger with a certain situation or somebody or whatever the experiences you're having? You need to find out where you're at. It doesn't mean, you're wrong because you're down here. It's just saying, and then get your book out and then write the words. For example, say you're in anger. Write the word out. If you're up here, you're basically sort of all right, but you could still write out, I'm in love today, I'm in joy today, what is the joy? And then you could write down the joy. That's what you need to do more of to keep you in that frequency. But to get out of this frequency, to move up here, you would take, if you're feeling worried or anger, write the word out, I am worried. Then write out what you've been worrying about, and then look at that for a little while and really tune into yourself. What is it that's worrying you or angering you about? Maybe you've had an argument with someone and it's really made you angry, but at the end of the day, does it really affect your life? Is it just affecting your emotions? I write down things I want to happen. Yeah, and you can do that as well, because that's the way manifesting is. Words are very powerful, and also actually writing stuff out. This is what we'll be going through as well. So and what's the opposite of anger as well? Is love. So you need to come out of the anger, have love for that person, and just realize, it's a different perspective. But you can work through it through checking through your chart. I'm on a downward spiral at the moment. I know fresh air and visit family puts me in an upward spiral, and that's what I do after this. Yeah, and you could feel angry because you're not, like you've said, you're not really seeing family and friends, with everything that's going on right now. But what is going to take you out of that anger? So you write that down. What normally shifts your energy to a higher frequency? And you've just said, what did you just say then? I know fresh air and a visit family puts me in an upward spiral. What you doing? Fresh air. Oh yeah, I've read that wrong, but yeah, you know what I mean. Sometimes you have to feel down to feel what needs to change. Yeah, and that's why I say we have to know the dark to see the light, to know we want to be the light. This is going to be so helpful. Thank you, Debbie. I just thought it was something, that I have to check on now and again. And when I'm talking to my fellow, we talk about stuff like this. And I just thought it'd be a really good tool to look at, if you're in jealousy, why are you in jealousy or insecurity? That's an insecurity and thing of yourself. Like, I see people doing that with me. Why are you jealous? Because somebody's doing something maybe that you wish you were doing. Well, why don't you work on something that you can do that somebody's inspired? You don't be jealous, be inspired by somebody. Switch it around. Is the guilt on your side of something? Really look into it deep. Write it down in a book. This book isn't for anybody else apart from you. Like I said, there's irritation there. What you're irritated about. Does it really affect you and your reality? Because no, it doesn't. It's just you letting it affect you because you're thinking about it too much. Yeah, gratitude is massive. That's why I have this book. We will be doing a lot on this anyway in this notebook. That's why I have live life with an attitude of gratitude. Sometimes I forget to write in it, but I do it most days. It's in here. The attitude of gratitude. You get a lot more in when you have to actually give the attitude of gratitude. It is the law of attraction. That's why I say to people, if you're focusing on crap, you're going to bring crap in. So you've got the attitude of gratitude. We'll be talking about all this again, but this one is just a tool to help you just quickly, if you get triggered by something, you're like, oh my God, I'm so irritated today. Right, look on your chart. Irritation is obviously in the lower frequency because it puts you in a bad mood. All the boredom, frustration, impatience, worry, rage, jealousy, insecurity, powerlessness, pessimism, irritation, doubt, anger, hatred, guilt. There's a few more you could add on there. It's all a form of that makes you feel in a lower frequency because it doesn't make you feel good. So, to feel good, you can just go on the top one and go, right, what can I do that's more in this, this realm? So you could look at, right, what's going to make me happy? Then you've got to think of the things that make you happy and go and do it. So I just thought I'd give that. You can colour this in. You can get creative with your little spirals like I've put faces on. But you just need to look at that and then go. It's good to write it down because it also gets it out of your system. And you also may read it at another time and go, oh yeah. So like I said, it will bring, because this is about your shadow self, it's shadow work. It will bring shadows up from different things like, yeah, why am I getting so mad with that? It is making me feel like this. Why is it making me feel like this? Oh, this person said, yeah, but does that really affect your reality? Does you know thyself. So, you've got to get rid of, like, why are you in fear? Because fear's on there. Fear isn't on there actually, but you can write that in because fear is in the lower states of, you could put fear. So add that on as well because fear is it in there? No, it's not, but fear should be in there. So add that one on. If you're saying, right, fear, right, what you're fearing of? Oh, what the news has said. Yeah, but you got to start realising the mainstream media tells you a load of shite anyway. So you're only in fear because of what they're projecting. Well, what will take you from fear? And just work it out like that. And the more you get into it, I think the more you'll start realising how quickly you can lift yourself out of negativity to an upward spiral, from a downward spiral to an upward spiral. Thanks, Dolly. Heading for bed. We'll watch and do the book. This is brilliant for having a visual. Yes, thank you, Eve. And that's what I wanted to bring you, a visual, because sometimes you can go, oh yeah, I'm doing that, and we forget. So I've always been a visual learner, so it is easier to actually get a book and put the visual down. So really you sort of need two. So that's what that one's about, and I'll be doing my work in that as well, and I'll show next week. Now the next one is the hands. The hands are, you're going to draw around your hands. Remember, it's a bit of fun. It might take you back to when you were a child, when you used to draw around your hands. So you're going to draw around your hands. Draw around your hands. And on the left side, because we'll call that the left brain. It's not really the left brain, but two left-brained. On the left hand, well, obviously it'll look different on here. You're going to the left side is going to stand for, I've put past me, old me, and then the right side, your right hand on the paper, is going to say future self, new me. And what we're going to do with these hands, we're going to put words, pictures, or even from magazine cuttings if you want to. You can get quite arty with it, or you can't. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just put words in. But what we're sort of going to do is, I don't know if I can show you, is you're going to put words and things that, like in the past, were you in the past? So it could have been anger, fear, a bit like the spiral thing. What your thoughts were, nothing, no wrong or right way of doing it. Maybe what your beliefs were then, when you think back to what may have changed now. And you can draw pictures in the around here and in the fingers. You could have someone looking a bit sad because maybe that's how you felt in the past. Angry because maybe that's how you felt in the past. Maybe you weren't all them things. Maybe you're just a little bit different than you are now. Maybe in the one on the right, you're going to put what you are now. Now, or what you see for your future self. So this could be, you could have loads of like fruit and stuff. You could draw fruit, you could write it, but you could draw fruit or cut out of magazines and put pictures in if it's easier, because you want to be more healthier, being a bit more is it alkaline? And then you could have pictures of, you know, happier faces. Maybe you could draw in, get creative. All the things that you like to do, like you're doing more art, you could draw paintbrushes and you could just get really arty with it. You don't have to, but I'll be showing mine next week. And it's just going to show you yet again of a visual of how you've moved from what you were in the past to how you are now, or how you're perceiving yourself to be on this path of you knowing what you're trying to go forth with now, taking yourself away from your old self, because we're trying to deprogram our old cycles of, even if you're not sure and you're like, well, I know I'm a bit like this, but I want to be more like this, draw it out into the universe, because subconscious doesn't know it's not real. Yeah, to give is to receive. You can never give too much. Exactly. Loving it tonight. Thank you, Phil. This is just what I wanted to bring in, because this is what I always try and bring in. And a bit like FE said today, all the naysayers out there who are saying I'm an unpositive person and I'm a person of the dark, or whatever it is they're trying to say, is I've just said do your own research. Go back to the very first video I did. Go and pick any video that I've done, and you will mainly see me holding positivity. It doesn't matter what my hair was or what it was doing or what I was wearing. There was an actual frequency that's always been there. So yeah. Oh, how times have changed. This one is going to be a big one. Yeah, so yeah, I know that, Phil, as well. I know myself. So yeah, so we can get really creative with these. You can colour them in, you can use magazines, but like I said, if you're not really sure, just do one of, you know, the negative side, and then what you're choosing to be, and just work on that. So you're going to have, your first pages are going to be, oh, the spiral, you know, and if you do it on loose paper like this, you can just stick it in a file anyway. So you've got like your spiral to check in on yourself, to remind yourself why you're feeling like this, because other people's projections are not you. That's why I was saying I was using this person as an example, are not you. So you don't need to look at that. You know, people need to look at their own fears and what they are, and work it out what actually is going on within them. And then you're going to have the two hands, because that's still like the, you know, spiraling down and spiraling up sort of thing, where we want to go with our higher self and our new self that's coming in. Because like I said, we've got to be working on this to bring all this in, and you know, it might keep you busy a little bit instead of fearing of what's going on in the news and this, that and the other, even though we know you have to keep abreast of, sort of aware of things that are going on. But yeah, that paper is almost thin as fuck. Well, yeah. And also we're going to be doing some work on how we can look at something, write it down, not read over it because it's negative, sort of put a line through it and then do something else to transmute it. I'm going to be showing you that in a sort of creative way as well, but I won't tell you till next week. So your homework is to remember to keep checking in on this, and remember to keep expanding with, why am I feeling like this? What is it actually? I'm not blaming others. What is it that's making me feel like this? And then switch it. You know, like I said, if you're in worry, what are you worrying about? If it's not happened yet, are you thinking of the future? Well, you're fine. It's all about the now. So bring something in now that you enjoy doing. So that's just so you've got a visual to check in on yourself if you forget. This is your homework. Not that I'll be able to check in on you at the minute, but you never know in the future. Forget editing that, you might be able to send emails with me, and I might be able to put your work up. It'll be like Tony Art Show, flipping, I can't remember what it was called, but I got expelled from school homework. Well, you won't get expelled for mine. You don't have to do it. But this is just a creative one. You don't have to do it, but it's something nice to do. You can do it in your sacred time when the kids are gone to bed. It's not going to take you long, and you can get creative as much as you want to. You can stick glitter in it for your higher self, whatever. Your other one could be quite dark, and this one might be a little bit about, but it doesn't matter. It's you, and it's just your thing that you can do. And as we move through this, I'll show you what mine look like, and I'm going to be truthful on it, you know what I mean? I've got nothing to hide. So I just thought it might be a good way to help people, like Eve said, with a visual. So when you're feeling a bit wobbly, you can go to your book, which will be a bit like your best friend. You are a really good teacher. I used to be well, I was a nursery nurse, so I used to teach little children. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, get another notebook so you can write other things down. So I would say, yeah, you need 2 notebooks or a folder, one for your stuff or a folder where you can put them at the beginning and then you're writing at the back. But your notebook and your journal, so you've got your notebook with your stuff in and a journal would be good to get. It's just going to be your little sacred place where you go. It's not for other people. It's for you to write down your most inner dark things as well. The things that you don't, because what this is about is looking at the things that you don't actually like about yourself, and that's your shadow self. It's been needed, but we need to look at it and why things trigger you, and then that's how we grow and expand. And you just make friends with that energy, and you're just like, well, I don't need you now, so But we are going to write it out to get it out of our system because it's good. Because if you think at the minute you can't talk to people about certain things, write it out. It's a release anyway, and we're going to transmute it and turn it into something beautiful. In the end, anyway. So, I don't know what you're all thinking. If you actually got what I was saying, I hope so. Grateful to be here. Thank you. What are we all saying? Yeah. Yeah, we do need each other at this time. That's why I just thought it'd be good to we've got to come with solutions, basically. No point in people going on about something if they're not coming with a solution. We need to come with solutions to help people. Yeah, you need to see both sides to get the full picture. Yeah, you do. And you need to see the shadow side within yourself. This is really a book of shadows. We're working on our shadow self. A lot of people think they've done it. Well, you get triggered again and again, and you're going to get triggered again and again with what's coming. So you need to be dipping into your little chart and thinking, right, remember to put fear on that one because that is a big one. Or I might have missed it off, actually. I don't know. But I'm going to write that in at the bottom on my paper. But yeah, to just check in. It's just a visual, like I said, to check in. So you know where as soon as you know you're in that spiral, you need to move back up to that spiral. So think, oh my God, I'm down there. What am I doing? Oh, I need to go and do like some, what can I have a passion about? Do more of your passion. Oh my God, am I feeling content? What would make me feel more content right now? Go and do more of that. Oh, what would make me feel empowered? And that's not by, empowerment of like dragging others down. That's empowerment of yourself. What make you, it's basically, that's the joy factor up there. And the biggest one is joy, because joy is freedom. What will make you feel free right now in this place that we're in with the so-called lockdown? Getting out in nature makes you feel quite free, and breathing in that good ass prana, as Ralph would say off Infinite Waters, getting out and breathing. Breathing makes you feel free. That's why there's a lot of people wearing masks. That ain't freedom. You're not breathing in godly, God-given air there, are you? So just saying. So we'll see how this notebook goes and how big it gets and how creative we can get. We all know I'm very creative, so I might as well bring the creativity forward. Like I said, with my painting there, whatever's going on there, I will show you when it's finished. But also, before I go, because this is a higher frequency, all the people that don't know that I've talked about JFK Jr. for a very long time, doesn't matter if you believe in it or not, it doesn't matter. There's the painting that I did ages ago with the whole Q thing. I got sent this today off the lovely Roxanne, and she did make me laugh because she knows I've been talking about JFK Jr. for about forever, past few years with the Q thing, and I said, oh, yep, seen Vincent Fusca. And Vincent Fusca, there was 2 Vincent Fuscas. Now, watch this, because I was like, there was a march on or something at DC, Washington, and there was millions there. I don't know if anyone saw it, but I saw how many people there on something I was looking at. And guess who was there? Vincent Fusca. I'm going to show you this because I couldn't stop laughing. I mean, it's nothing new to me. But Roxanne was like, oh my God, Dolly, look. And I was like, I know. And have we had to retract anything that we've ever said? No, the only thing is dates. Dates, yeah. But yeah, we can get wrong with the dates, but who cares? And I went, no, watch this. You're going to love this. Vincent Fusca, baby. Right, let me find it.
You know,
Right, I've got to
poo. Look at my God.
start again.
Look who's at me. Oh, if you know,
Boom.
you know. Pooh. Look at my God. Oh, look what he's wearing.
Guess what he's wearing, people? Vincent Fusca's got a t-shirt on. Can you see what he's got on?
Allie. Oh, if you know, you know. Pooh, look at my gut.
George.
Oh, look what he's wearing.
Whoop, whoop. He's got a George t-shirt on of the George magazine with Cindy Crawford on it, dressed up as George Washington or whatever it was. Because JFK Jr., if anyone doesn't know out there, had a magazine called George, aimed at who? The Bush. George Bush. Yeah, so just a bit of a symbol there and a signal to... we know what's coming. I did get the date wrong on that once, but that's only dates. We know that person's there when people actually research. So that woman going mad, going, oh my God, look who's there. We're like, yeah, that was recently. It's two Vincent Fuscas, by the way. Vincent Fusca, fedora hat. His dad wore a fedora, and also the story behind Vincent Fusca was Emmett the Clown, a lot to do with the Kennedy family. So I put that story out there about 3 years ago, where I was like, oh yes, well, we'll see that coming, won't we, when it comes in. Bit of a waiting game at the minute, but we're all like, see the spiral up. When you're in the fear, they're going down, everyone gets very impatient. I've not been impatient. It's a bit frustrating sometimes, but that's still in this. Impatient. We're just waiting. Divine time. That's all I'm saying. So that made me happy this morning. I was like, whoop! Got the energies of the JFK Jr. in the house. People will still say, taking yourself away from it all. Know who these people were and what they were into, and they were good people. JFK Jr. said, or was it, I think it was JFK Jr., one of his speeches, I don't want to be a great man. I want to be a good man. There's a difference. A lot of people can be great, but are you good? People go on about my channel, certain people. Oh, she's this. Ooh, she's that. Ooh, I'm transparent on my channel. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to do good by what I think's good is. I know what my intentions are. My intentions are to help people with a frequency, whatever that is. I'm not saying I get everything right. I'm just saying I come in here to talk to people live, to join in the conversations, to look at what you're all saying, to see what frequencies people are on. And connecting all around the world with the people that come into chat. Yeah, same as the Clintons, exactly, and the Obamas and so on and so forth. We all know there was only a handful of presidents that were good, but they always got shot down or whatever. And that's why JFK Jr. knew what would happen to him when he was going to run against Hillary Clinton, the evil witch of the West. Yes, but we all know about that. So, yeah, I've got good energy, thank you. And I can still call people out in that frequency of no hate. It's just one of them things, and it's experiences that go on in life. And like I said, if people aren't looking at their own chart and realising why they're in anger and they're in pain and they're in insecurity, it's because you're bringing that on yourself, because you're choosing by choice and your own free will to stay there. You don't have to stay there. Once you catch yourself there, that's why I say it's good to have a visual. Oh yeah, right, we'll move up there by doing something in here that makes you feel. That's why it's good to do this, drawing around your hands. You remember doing that as a child, getting creative, getting out of that. That's why I said this works best to do with not watching anything, switching off, putting a few candles on. If you have to have a little drink, have a little drink, but just sitting there and just relaxing and having time for yourself just to look at, reflect on what is going on with you at the minute. Not, I'm going to do this while the TV's on in the background and the news, because that isn't going to, you just need to concentrate on you, because this is about you right now, bringing this good ass energy in. If they are on the TV telling us we can't do this or do that and saying we are going to war, guess what? Yeah, exactly. So before I go, how are you all feeling today? And I'm going to let some cards jump out before I go. So I've been on since 8, and you know me, I'm doing a short video. It never happens, does it? Because I get in the flow and that's it. Also, I was meant to do this the other day. This book, Staying Strong, funnily enough, it's just got quotes in it. And yes, some are off celebrities we might not like, but not everybody's bad. But it doesn't mean the words are not true. So I'm just going to do the whole thing where you just pick out of a random flicker in the book of, I'm going to go there, on that page. Guess what page it is? Number is 17 at the top. June 17, it says. 17, you saw me just flick that book. Oh, and here we go. Princess Diana. Oh my God. See, this is how spirit talks. Just some people might think I'm batshit crazy, but it does. Are you ready for this? Only do what your heart tells you to do. Princess Diana. And I'm going to read out what it says underneath. Princess Diana, JFK Jr., Michael Jackson, if anyone gets what I'm saying. They knew Trump and JFK Jr., just saying. Are you ready? Oh, yes. See, FE's feeling much better. Are we ready? This is the message of this. Right. Only do what your heart tells you to do, Princess Diana. There are plenty of moments in our lives when we struggle with making decisions. Whether they're small or large, our heart can be telling us one thing, our head another. Yeah, especially if it's filled with crap. That doesn't say it on here. Head another. And our friends, something entirely different. It's important to weigh all options. Then do what your heart truly believes is right. Don't just do what your friends are telling you to do. You must make your own decisions based on your intuition, because a lot of people out there who are listening to other people doesn't mean just because they're friends that they know better. Sometimes they get jealous and stuff and they tell you stuff that's going on, because I've seen that happen before. The goal. Next time you have to make a decision, weigh all the options, especially those of the heart. I think that's a bit like the Egyptian thing, when the underworld, when you got weighed by what you do by your heart. So, I come on YouTube with my intuitions of what I feel right, of what my heart tells me to do. And my heart tells me to come on here and do what I do. So, that's just me doing me, what I feel I need to do. So, love the homework. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. That's what I want to put out there. Then I'm just going to do some cards because I had my reading, but I'll do an overall one before I go. And that's that. So that was a lovely note to finish with the whole doing your work stuff. And there's Princess Diana, because we all know if there was any royals that are good, she was one of them. That was lovely. That was just, and it was 17. What can I say when we're talking about this over here? So, let's go. You're welcome. Just saying. That needs to be my slogan thing. Just saying. Just saying. I say it to my fella all the time. Go, just saying. Oh, you think you know. It's just a knowing. It's not a big-headed thing. It's just a knowing. Right, I'll do Phil a card, but I'm not doing any tonight. I'll just do Phil one, because I don't know if you knew or you've been in before. I'll do one for Phil. I have done it before. I will do another night where I'm pulling cards, and I'll do the meditation thing as well. Yeah, I do need to get shirts printed out, so I think I should for a laugh. Who would buy a top off me if I put just saying on it? Dolly says, just saying. And then people on the dark side will go, oh my God, she's getting like a clothing range out now. Yeah, and... Oh, that just flipped over. So, I mean, really it's for you, Phil, but really it's for everybody else. So we'll just say this is a card for all of you, but I'm still going to do a 3-card read. Feel loved and comforted. Mother Earth. That's what my tattoo is. Representation of Mother Earth. So, yeah, I'll just do 3. It is. I always say it. It's like just saying. Yeah, I love that as well. Dolly minions. Oh, people will love that, won't they? Oh, she's got minions. She's got minions. Yeah, minions of good, not minions of bad. Got to have a laugh, haven't you? Too many people being really famous. Oh, these cards jumped out, turned over. There's more than 3, so they funny we were talking about Native American Indians. We got this the other day. We've got the Peacekeeper. Well, the pipe of smoke. We know who the Peacekeeper is. It's Trump. Some people won't see that yet, but they will do. Let go of the need to be right. Yeah, I even need to do that. A lot of people. Yeah, I'll put that down in the book. Father Sky, we got this the other day. I can't believe these cards are coming out again. Trust in the unknown. I do trust in the unknown, actually, as bonkers as that sounds. Stargazer, we got these the other day. Set your sights high. Yes, we've just been talking about the spirals. Spiral up, not spiral down. The seer. See beyond the current situation. Well, a lot of us can see beyond we got these the other day, the current situation of what's going on, because people think, they tune in and think, she's talking about Trump, she's talking about politics. Talking about politics. No, I'm not talking about politics, because it's way beyond politics. It just looks like politics to some people, because they don't understand what's going on behind the scenes. The seer. And then the last one is autumn. Like I've said before, follow nature, release the old and rest. Well, that's what I've just been talking about release the old. About let's doing the artwork on our releasing hand of the old, the left, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to put our new self in there. And there might be some things you do on your hand. You might leave it a bit blank, and you might do it in a few days or weeks. You might think of something like, oh yeah, what put that in. So you don't have to rush it and think, oh my God, I've got to get all that. And you might add things to it, but it's just good visual, especially if you're a visual learner. So that's all I'm saying. Just saying. But like I said in chat, how are you all feeling before I go? Hugs helping us grow spiritually. It's stuck with me since I heard it. Oh my God, that's so cute. I'm having that. That is well cute. I've never actually heard that. That is this is going in my book. Yeah, write quotes down as well that you really love, because that's a good thing to, you know, have around or whatever. Hugs. And they do help us spiritually go. I was talking about hugs on Unbiased on the Fence a bit ago, and breathing. Helping us grow spiritually. Beautiful. Thank you. That is cute. That is cute. That is cute. Better. I heard some lady say it on a show. That is cute. That's excellent, Lois. It is self-love. Self-love is one of the biggest things. Self-love is what we'll be going through in the workshop or whatever I'm doing on here at the minute, whatever it turns into. That is one of the biggest things, is love thyself. This is why I say you have to put boundaries up with certain things and people, because it's not loving yourself to let people walk all over you. But you also need to know when to turn away and just not be a part of what's going on. And that's why I said people should be looking at friends and people around them that are whispering whispers in their ears, because there's people who get jealous of, there's friends that get jealous of friends, and they don't want you rising and ascending, so they're trying to drag you down. So they'll whisper in your ears about certain things. Someone's doing something, someone's doing this, because they don't want you to rise, because they're at a lower frequency as well, and they drag you down. That's what normally happens. That's the thing that happens in life. So open our heart. Yeah, you have to take care of yourself before. Yeah, I've said that, Phil. A lot of people, if you were in a plane and it was going down, they were like, right, we're going down, so you got to get ready. You can't help someone if you've not put your air mask on, your oxygen mask on. You're not going to be no use to your family, kids, anything, if you don't put that on first. If you don't put that on first to look after you, you can't help the next person next to you, because, like, do you know what I mean? So yes, you do have to look after yourself. It's a bit that, like, you are giving to others and you are loving others, but you have to love yourself first. You can't look after anyone. It's like working on yourself will help your family and will help things around you in the end, because you're working on yourself. If you're, you know, I have certain situations with my eldest, who's nearly 21, we don't get on that much. I'm quite I will tell you, it's just one of them things. It's social engineering with what he's gone through, and I'm trying to, well, I hate the word say, I'm trying to tell him, trying to make him see that he doesn't see it. Some kids do at his age, some don't, because they're so into this brainwashing. He doesn't see it. My youngest, funny thing is, because he's at that younger age, he is very open. So some people say, oh yeah, you've got to do this. Yeah, I have got to do certain stuff with him, but also I've got to do the work on myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I think anyone who says, oh yeah, this is all mastery of yourself. Never mind the higher ascendant masters. They all have to do this. We're going through it. We're not all there, and there. Every time you rise, you'll be doing some work on yourself. So I know, yeah, same with my 17-year-old. There's a lot of stuff he won't see probably till I've, still got a lot more to go through myself on working on myself in situations in the 3D of myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect, you know, but I do keep myself in a higher frequency. It's not that I don't get pissed off sometimes with him, or I don't get annoyed with Finn sometimes because he's younger and that's just what kids do. That is life. It doesn't mean, remember Magenta Pixie saying once that, oh my God, I've just told my child off. I've just, you know, shouted. I just came out of that frequency and I've told them, or whatever it is. Oh my God, that means I'm not like a, you know, I'm a lower being. So no, it doesn't. That's just life. You just remember and think, oh yeah, that was me being a bit triggered, looking at your spiral up and spiral down. Oh, what was it that was making me, you know, get a bit too blah, 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 blah. And then you work on it, you reflect on it, and then next time it comes up, you try and like be a bit calmer. But that's how life works at the minute, especially with everything that's going on. It's more, I'd say it's more triggering lately than ever because of what's going on with people's energy. And everyone's getting triggered left, right and centre. It doesn't matter if you're not into Q or you don't like Trump. It doesn't matter because everybody right now with the whole virus shit is getting triggered. So you do need to work on yourself. So the best way, like I said, is get 2 notebooks, a journal and a notebook, and we're going to start journaling because journaling will help you through these times. And sometimes, like I said, with my journaling and all the books, I have different sort of books with different sort of journaling in. Like I've got this one here. I've got many books all around the house. I just grab it and write in it. It is, you know, I doodle and I write and I journal and I write dreams in and things that have come in meditations. And I write them down and what they mean to me. It doesn't matter what it means to anyone else, what they mean to me. It's my journey and my path and what I think spirit, or whatever you want to say, is saying to me. So, and sometimes when you look back on it, future proofs the past, you're like, oh my God. Sometimes it's a bit like, oh, it wasn't telling me that, it was telling me this because that's totally made sense. So it's really good to keep a journal. You don't have to be in it every day if you forget. It doesn't matter. But you will see, the more you will get to like it, the more you see certain things, you're like, oh yeah, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So that's if you want to do it. Not saying you have to. I'm just saying it's a good start if that's what you want to do. Everyone will need a t-shirt to wear. What sort of t-shirt? I told you so. Oh, spiraling up t-shirt. Yeah. Yeah, and you can just look at each other and go, right, we're all triggered. Right, what spiral is it? Oh, yeah, I would just look at each other spiral on a t-shirt. Yep. Changes in the air, things are moving up above all is all, yeah, above is all the time. It's so moving all the time. It's fantastic. What are your thoughts on dreams? Do they have, yeah, of course dreams have meanings. I mean, it depends what you think. You know, your reality is what you make it. I do. I think it's spirit world connecting. I think you're up in the astral a lot anyway. You're doing a lot of work up there. It's messages coming in from all over. Little nuggets of information, you know, being brought to you. So that's why sometimes if you write it down, you might think it's something. A week later, you might be like, oh, it wasn't saying that. It was saying this. Because you can interpret visions differently, you know, or you might say something to somebody like, oh, I saw this, and they might go, oh yeah, maybe it means blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I will power. Yeah, expressing it all is a great idea. It is, expression is what we should be doing. And at the minute, I just believe there's a lot of anger going about that. It's good even if you're angry to express it in the book. And then it's not really getting fired at anyone else. And then you can transmute it. And that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be showing you different things. I've got another idea for something about journaling that may help people that have trauma. So it's good. It's like I said, shadow self trauma. Everyone's got trauma. It doesn't matter if you say, I had this really big trauma years ago when I was a kid, this and that happened. And someone turns around and go, because I was talking to Roxanne about this. Well, my goldfish died. And that's the only trauma I've had in my life. And they're like, your goldfish. I'm just saying this is an example. I haven't got a goldfish. My goldfish died. And someone goes, well, that isn't trauma. I had more trauma than you. No. If you broke your heart over your goldfish and you were traumatised by it because your mum flushed it down the toilet or something, but you had this, and this that seems really big because it was a whatever. Pain's pain. There's no difference in pain. The experience may have been different and you might label it as a bit higher or lower sort of, I don't know, experience, but pain is pain. And like Roxanne said to me today, she went, oh yeah, mention, like you've got the thing. Everyone's had trauma in their life. You go back to when you were younger. It doesn't matter if you didn't have something someone would class as a really horrific trauma. It could be something as easy as fallen out with the best friend when you were little and you were really upset. That traumatized you for a little bit. There's so many different traumas we have in our life that when you actually look back on it, you're like, yeah, it was a trauma. It might have seemed minuscule at the time of like when you were younger. When you're younger, something so small feels absolutely massive. But then as you get older, there are some bigger things. But it is also how you interpret it and take it and and react to it. Like I'm saying, this person who goes on about me, I'm not reacting to it, I'm responding to it. Because when someone is putting information out about me that's false, I can respond to it. For example, because this is real, this is an experience, so that person will probably get triggered with me saying this, but oh well. You put something out on me that I'm saying isn't true because I know it's not true. You can think what you want, but you're putting something out. So don't be surprised if you get a response off me or other people. If you don't want responses, you shouldn't put it out. Don't act like a victim and say someone's attacking and abusing you when you're the one doing the videos on me and bad-mouthing me, but yet you're trying to say it's you when you're the one doing it. And then as soon as someone responds or I respond, you're saying somebody is doing that to you. No, you're doing it to yourself because you were choosing to do this. You're choosing to say you're not going to do it, and then you do it. And then do you know what I mean? How are you responding to certain situations? I can respond to this person. I'm not reacting, otherwise I'd be screaming and shouting. I don't need to scream and shout because there is nothing to react on because it's not true. So, but I can respond because you put something out, so I can respond. That's a bit like saying, you put yourself on YouTube. I've put myself on YouTube, so I'm going to get people that don't like me. I'm not bothered about that. There's a newspaper article. I'm going to read it and respond to it. You know, do you know what I mean? So that's what it's all about. I give my aunt some joke arsehole pills once for the joke. But they were so grumpy. I know, people can't even have a laugh these days, can they? Yeah, all you got to muse upon is what goes around comes around. And it does, and that's what I'll say to them people again. What goes around comes around. You put shit out, you'll get shit back, basically. If you want to change and you want good things to happen and good people to come in and that's what you focus on. You don't focus on trying to suppress people and going on about certain stuff. Tried a few times, but I can't seem to focus when meditating. Do you listen to... Some people will sit and meditate and you've got to wait for your thoughts to go because thoughts come in and you just got to listen to your breathing, focus on something else, or do it to a guided meditation or music, because some people need something to focus on. Some people actually need music to take themselves out of it, or they needed a guided meditation, which like I did the other week when I did the guided meditation, and then someone said to me the other day, yeah, but that's distracting. No, it's not. I actually prefer guided meditations because it's just a little guidance. That's why it's called guided. And it's just telling you what to listen out for. And then you're sort of focusing on what the person's guiding you to look for and feel, instead of all these thoughts coming in, because they do come in of like, well, what are we doing this for? Don't you need to go and tidy up? No, just go away. I'm not listening for that to go quiet. So yeah, try guided meditation. I will be doing another meditation, hopefully this week, but I said I'd bring more in. So that's what I'm going to do because it went quite well last week and I got really good feedback on that. Yeah, use an eye mask, Astral Thief said. That's really good at night time as well. I use eye masks and earplugs and everything. Like it dark, quiet. Everything's distracting. The light keeps us awake. I used to not be able to sit down, but I tried enough times now. I'm comfortable meditating. Yeah, that's the thing, Abel, is you have to get into that pattern. I don't do it every day, but some people go, oh God, I can't. It doesn't matter even if you do it for 10 minutes, you can build it up. You can actually meditate awake. You could just be doing walking in nature. So don't worry about you have to sit down. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. You can actually go out in nature, go to a forest or wherever, a lake or whatever. And as long as you're tuning out from your thoughts and you're really listening to the birds singing or the wind blowing through the leaves, that's a form of meditation because you're not thinking about all the other shit in the other, do you know what I'm saying? And your mind will wander off with something else. So that's a form of meditation as well. So don't worry about it too much. You don't have to be meditating with your legs crossed I'm not saying that's not what you don't, but you can, there's different ways of doing it. I get a lot of meditation through my art when I'm doodling because it's just, I'm not thinking about anything else. I just go off in my own world, and that's why I say, you know, like I was doodling that last night or this morning, I can't actually remember when it was. But you know, all the other doodles that I've shown. So I'm going now because it's late and I've been on for hours, I think, when I said I was only coming on for a little time. But we all know that never happens with me. The man, hey dolls, got an alien face there. Yes. And I tried to meditate before I sleep. Yeah, I might check in on the orbs tonight, but we'll see, because sometimes they do make me laugh. Sometimes they don't want me filming. Yeah, and Effie has put in again, coffee donations. If you want to make a coffee donation, Effie has just put my details up there by PayPal. Coffee donations, that's just an energy exchange, you know. And Effie throws that in now and again, so there you go. So I can meditate while riding my motor. Yeah, you can meditate through many different ways. It's just what takes you not thinking about everything else that's going on. Is that you, Reverend? Where? It probably is. I don't know. Sounds crazy, but I'm focused. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna go. I hope the people who are gonna try and do the chart and the hands, because I'll show you mine next week. I'll work on it this week of, you know, mine will probably be a bit fancy, doodles and all that. You don't have to be, just do what you feel, you know, if you want to do it. Oh, it's the man, it's Revel. There you go. Sleep well. Yeah, I'll sleep well. I had a really good sleep last night. I had one of the best sleeps, I can say, I've had in ages, because since I've been on the truth in seeking thing, I've not, I mean with Q, because a lot of people out there will go on about, oh, I've been awake longer than you. And this person did put in a recent comment something about, oh, you know, people think they've only been awake for a few years and you can't do the work on yourself for a few years. Yeah, you can. You don't actually know me and what I've done in the past. So just because I'm talking about things on YouTube for the past 5 years I haven't told you about everything I've done in the past. Do you know what I mean? These people seem to want to know the ins and outs of your arsehole, don't they? And just because you don't speak about certain things on YouTube, they think that, oh, because you've not mentioned that you're not into it, whatever. It's like, oh my God, people. Really? So, yes. It's 26th of November. Thanks. We'll dig out my stones. I've got some I need to... I still need to... Yeah. So, like I said, we're just learning to let go of what we think we are. Let go in, you know, all sorts of different things. Like I've always said before. So, I'm going to go... Like I said, I had a great sleep last night. And, oh, yeah, because I was just saying about not seem to have slept much with the whole thing going on with the other stuff. But I do think we're sort of battling it out in all dimensions. So, like I said, but really good sleep last night. And, oh, before I go, I did have a dream the other day. A magenta pixie was in it. And it's funny how people have been saying lately, people have been coming in the dreams. I know I was in someone's. Magenta pixie was in mine, and it was really weird because I've wrote it down here, so I'm just gonna say, you know, what I think it could be is something was going on, I can't remember, and I said I ended up at a fairground. A magenta pixie was at a bouncy castle. She owned the bouncy castle, you know, thing, and I was there with Finn. There was something going on before that with my fellow, I can't remember. That was weird. Can't remember. And then we went to the fairground, and Magenta Pixie was there at a bouncy castle. So I don't mean if the castle stands for something, but then again, it could. If you know what I'm saying. But she was at a bouncy castle, and she owned it. And I went to put Finn on, but I realised I didn't have my purse with me, and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to put him on this bouncy castle because I've got no money. And I remember thinking in my head, well, it's Magenta Pixie, so she's going to obviously go, you know, get on the castle. But that was that bit. Because I was just thinking, it's Magenta Pixie. And I think I was trying to talk to her. And I think she knew who I was. It was funny. And then all of a sudden, at this fairground, because I'll interpret this myself, I've not really looked at it much. There was something going on. And then in the sky, and I think the sky was pink, we all looked up. And there was like all these things in the sky, and people who were a bit asleep were going, oh, it's the satellite thingies going round. And I was like, no. They were saying it was satellites. We're like, no. They were galactic ships, ET ships, etc., all going over in a formation of like, and it says the Good Alliance of like, we're here, we're helping. So I've wrote that down. Oh no, that was Saturday the 14th. See, I've wrote it down. So that's all there. So if something pops up this week, like, I don't know, Magenta Pixie mentioned something or something, I'll just be laughing my head off because it's documented. And that's why it's good to have a book to write things down of like, right, I might interpret it that at another time. But the funny thing is with Magenta in the Castle is, you know, been on project at the Camelot TV, and then I think of Castle codes that go in with Q. Castle, I think of like, what you call it? Camelot, as in, a lot of people were saying like JFK Jr. was like the real Prince of America and stuff like that. Just stuff in my head where I think, oh yeah, well that makes sense. And, you know, I do like Magenta Pixie, and I do have two other books actually. So, you know, that's all there. I had to show my QAnon bag of tricks. Oh, so, and I think somebody's asking about something to make. So I'm going to go, and I will see you soon at some point this week. I don't know when, you know, I'll pop on when I pop on. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you soon. Keep your frequency high. Remember to keep checking in on your chat if you're doing it. Oh, yes, I do think 107 is something to do with Joe. Oh, yes, I do. Something, you know. So, yeah, thanks all for coming in, and I'll see you soon. Bye.